See Tyler McKee also out of the speedway right now. Was not scheduled to go in his qualifying heat, but I don't see his name. All right, he's being added to the tail side of this heat event. They forgot to sign him in when he entered the speedway tonight. So Tyler McKee, second-generation driver as well. Looking up to the flagger's perch right now on the orchestrator's perch is Jerry Enright and his assistant starter, Buck Dunning. They'll be orchestrating tonight's racing program. Here we come on a turn number 4, green flag flies. We go racing. Brian Crummell quickly from the outside of the speedway. And Crummell quickly waving bye-bye to second-place driver Timmy Paul down the backstretch right now. Paul runs in the bridesmaid spot. Timmy Paul back there in the number 2, the Think Fiberglass 42 car. Rides up wild on the turn number 4 this time. Paul in the number 2 spot. And right there's the Hurricane. Change Jablanca. Jablanca looks down to the inside. That's going to be the mission he'll have to take to get by Tim Paul. Here comes Jimmy Spellman. Spellman closing the gap back there in the number 4 spot right now. Spellman back aboard the 28 car. Top 4 cars get handicapped to the feature event by their respective order in their points chase right now. Paul second, Jablanca third, Spellman fourth. Back there in the number 5 spot is the 21 car of Brian Coulter. Coulter's got a lot of competition behind him, and young Tyler McKee coming on strong. McKee drops it back in line right now in spot number 6. One spot for a transfer. Yellow on the speedway. Trouble down yonder between turns number 1 and 2. That's Bobby Hassenmeyer losing a handle on things aboard the 11D car. 21-year-old driver out of Middletown, New York, the M&H Tractor 11D car. T.O. Fabrications is the producer of that chassis. Works on forklifts all week long. That's Bobby Hassenmeyer getting things all straightened back out. And takes her down behind pit wall for a quick look-see over. Country Chevrolet pace car. Picks up the pace down there. 2 laps have been scored to the record books. This race currently is 2 laps old. 6 laps remain on tap. The 8-lap heat event. We mentioned before, 4 qualifiers for the Dirt Car Sportsman division. Banner field of Dirt Car Sportsman here in attendance tonight. 50-50 gals coming throughout the grandstand, all throughout the Orange County Speedway campus. 50-50, of course. One half of the take gets given back to some lucky winner here in the grandstand. Second prize tonight, a large pizza pie from Papa John's of Middletown. Track clear once again. Country Chevrolet Camaro pace car will drop the field off down the back straightaway. Here we come. Let's try it once again. Second green flag in this first qualifying heat event brought to us by Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Centers. Crummell in the Superior Remodeling 44 car drops it down to the inside. Watch the battle for the number 2 spot. The Hurricane touches down in turn number 2, grabs himself the number 2 spot away, puts Timmy Paul back to the number 3 spot. Spellman running in spot number 4. Already Tyler McKee. McKee drops himself into a qualifying spot. He's gone to the big show tonight aboard the number 19 machine. McKee in the hunt right now as he tries to hunt down the 42 car of Tim Paul. Paul running in spot number 4. Nobody stepping out of line, working down the back straightaway. Kenny Boniface Jr. one spot from transferring back in slot number 6, followed by Coulter and the 44 car of Johnny Smikla Jr. Halfway sign comes out this time. 4 laps down and 4 to go. Well, some elbow space now between the top set of qualified cars. Meanwhile, here comes Boniface. Well, Boniface white-walled the left front pony tire, went down a little bit too low and slapped the barrier. Kept them going in the right direction, but definitely put a white wall on that Hoosier racing tire. On the top side now in this first of 4 qualifying events, it is still your race leader, Brian Crummell. Crummell holds on to the punch right now, the number 1 spot. Good driver here for quite a few years in the Dirt Car Sportsman division. Brian Crummell at home in the office behind the controls of that 44 car. Looking for 2 laps to go, 2 to go this time around, as Buck Dunning shows the way, working down the home straightaway. Crummell on top of the world right now. Pair of 44s hold on to the top two divisions as they work on a turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Shane Jablonka runs the white 44 car in spot number 2. Spellman runs the number 3 spot. Paul still in 4th. 5th place is McKee. He hears some footprints down the hallway because that is Kenny Boniface Jr. working up real quickly to close that gap. Back in slot number 6. White flag comes out one more time around. Final tour of duty down the back straightaway, this time looking for the almighty black and white. Gone to the feature event, winning this first Dirt Car Sportsman qualifying event. Hits the 44 car, Brian Trummel. Second spot will be Shane Jablonka. Third, then Jimmy Spellman. Fourth, it's Tim Paul. And fifth by the whisker, the 19 of Tyler McKee. So there you have it. Top 5, first 5 qualifiers in the Dirt Car Sportsman division locked into place. And going to the feature tonight from this qualifier will be your winner again. That's Brian Crummell. Second spot, Shane Jablonka, followed by Jimmy Spellman. Fourth spot was the 42, Tim Paul. You're the wife, you just never get a chance to talk back. Yes, we all know that very well. Okay, we've got that same marriage relationship up here between the drivers. They can hear our race director, but he can't hear them. Does help in caution circumstances, does help like we just told him right now to close that gap between the pace car, make things look all nice, neat, and uniform. We're set to go racing. Caution light has been turned out. Start of the second qualifying event. Brought to us again by Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Centers. We go racing, this time by Dirt Car Sportsman. Set them up down there in turns 3 and 4. And look for the almighty green flag. Here we come on a turn number 4. We'll go racing this time. Lodini from the inside. That's Lodini, not Houdini, but he does work some magic, grabbing the number 1 spot. 3 wide and wild coming out. Oh, that's ugly. Sorry, didn't see it, didn't mean to do that. Yellow on the speedway, trouble at the get-go. 3 wide down in turn number 2. Left for some stained shorts and a caution circumstance on the speedway. 2 cars come together. That being the 3S car of R.J. Smikla and Gary Edwards Jr. Smikla kind of came down to the inside to get out of harm's way, but there was Edwards left with no place to go. Contact being made. Smikla pulls away right now on the 3S machine. Mentioned before that R.J. Smikla, 15-year-old driver from here in Middletown. Student over at Pine Bush High School. Brought to us by Papa Squat Portable Restrooms. That's R.J. Smikla's sponsor this year. See, that was the black K3 car of Danny Cronk involved. Smikla had escaped that in the white 3 car. So a pair of 3 cars out there at the speedway. The white 3 car is R.J. Smikla. The black car, we've got the worst of that calamity down there. That's the K3 of Danny Crunk. Caution lights quickly get turned out. No laps have been scored. Complete restart with the exception of any drivers that could not continue from that caution circumstance. The Middletown Autowreckers qualifying heat series continuing for the Dirt Car Sportsman. Here we come on a turn number 4. Going to try it once again. Lodini quickly back out to the number 1 spot. R.J. Smikla drops it down to the inside for spot number 2. Now they'll battle side by side for the number 3 battle down the back straightaway. Frankie Venezia in the red number 27 car. Thinking better of that, backing back down out of the situation. Andy Reeves, the 27R car, running back there in the number 5 spot right now, while Gary Edwards Jr. makes tracks through to grab the number 4 spot away. Edwards able to continue after that opening lap caution. Meanwhile, the Have-A-Straw Hammer in trouble takes the pink fiberglass 1 car down behind pit wall as he exits the playing surface down in turn number 3. 5 cars racing for that ticket to the big dance tonight right now. Smikla running in second. Venezia third right now. Edwards fourth, and that's Andrew Reeves in the red 27 car back there in spot number 5. Farther back out of the qualifying run is Mikey Tramer in the Ford car. First time here this season. Battling for the number 2 spot. Venezia down to the inside of Smikla. Smikla takes the Papa Squat portable toilets car running down the back straightaway right now. You can see he has the runs, but he's running hard against the 27 of Venezia. Venezia wins the 2-car draw. He takes over the number 2 spot. 4 laps down and 4 to go at the halfway point. Smikla runs in 3 right now, and here comes Edwards. Edwards closing the gap quickly back there in the number 4 spot. Reeves all by himself in spot number 5. Nobody in front of him, nobody behind him. It's lonely at the top, but he is in a qualifying position. That's the red 27 of Andrew Reeves. Final car in the hunt for the feature event transfer. John Ladini continues to be your heat race leader. Frank Venezia tries to hunt him down, may run out of time. While a third place battle develops on the speedway. Down in turn number 2, we see R.J. Smikla pedal as fast as his little ankles will take him down the back straightaway. But here comes Edwards. Edwards going to use him as a drafting partner down in 3 and 4. Gary Edwards Jr. off to the inside right now, the 21 car. Sneak peek of the inside, got the horsepower, not quite the racing room. Oh, he tries to go to the outside. And there was just not room to do that down the straightaway. Edwards pilots his way up to the outside. Quick flip of the boogie out the wing window, and he grabs the number 3 spot away. And looks like Smikla may be in trouble dropping off the pace down the back straightaway. Glove compartment door may have fallen open. White flag is out on the speedway right now. 1 more lap to go. Ladini don't know what he's missing. Really does not care to find out. He is a solid race leader right now. Venezia second, Edwards third. Smikla, Reeves go at it for a last lap battle on the grounds. Watch him down the back straightaway. Transponder stand by. Checkered flag flies. The winner of the second Middletown Autowreckers qualifying heat event, the 6 Altar, Tony Ladini. Frankie Venezia will be second. Gary Edwards Jr. is third. 4th spot was Andrew Reeves. And 5th spot, nursing her home, the 3 car of R.J. Smikla. So going to the feature event from this qualifying run is your race winner, Johnny Ladini, followed by caution lights get turned out. We're going to set the pull the trigger right now. And this is the 3rd qualifying event for the dirt car sportsman, Jimmy Marr, the M1 car up there, the number 1 spot. Here he comes out of turn number 4. We go racing. Marr in the pink fiberglass car got Tyler Rodendahl way up the banking that time. Makes the rooster tails fly into Wisner Avenue, drops back 3 spots, holds on to it down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, Eggers fills the slot for spot number 2. He's at the altar right now in the big bouquet of flowers. He's running in the bridesmaid's position, spot number 2. That is the Eggers car, Richie Eggers to be exact. The Rock Fantasy 166 car, Stevie Pinto back there. Pinto drops the power down to the inside curtain. Well, runs out of some racing real estate. And meanwhile, here comes the Viking, Eric Holmgren. Holmgren sets sail down the back straightaway, and the Viking grabbing spot number 3 away from the quarter horse, Stevie Pinto. Pinto works it down to the inside right now, back in the number 4 spot. Remember, 5 cars qualified. And young Matt Janiak back there in spot number 5 as Tyler Rodendahl tries to regroup and pull himself back up into the picture. Race leader continues to be the Think Fiberglass number 1 car, Jimmy Marr. Marr in the beautiful M1 machine. 23-year-old auto mechanic from Stony Point, New York in that PMC chassis, the M1 machine. That is Jimmy Marr, your race leader. Richie Eggers running back there at the number 2 spot. Eggers in second, can hear footprints in the hallway. It's the Viking. He's got them big Viking boots on, trying to hunt down the number 2 place man. Holmgren from Middletown takes a sneak look down to the inside. Whip that baby sideways in a hurry, going into turn number 2 that time. Holmgren works the number 3 spot. Matt Janiak is 4th. Stevie Pinto back there in spot number 5. And Matt Janiak right now may be a contender in the last chance qualifier. Trying to close the gap and give Pinto a run for the big bucks, but not happening at the point. Race is on the top side because we've got 5 laps being scored in the history books. 5 down, 3 laps to go, and Jimmy Marr just keeps getting more and more powerful as time goes on, stretching out that lead way long shot down the straightaway. The Viking is second, third place battle, the 117 of Richie Eggers and the 17 of Matt Janiak. Janiak slingshots off to the inside curtain that time, and Janiak picks up the number 3 spot, putting Eggers back to spot number 4. Pinto back there in spot number 5. Stevie Pinto, the Rock Fantasy Racing 166 machine, holds on to that final ticket to the big show, while Tyler Odendahl gets a whole lot of horsepower beneath his belt. Down the back straightaway, Odendahl takes a sneak peek to the outside, thought better of it. White flag flying in the speedway. 4 more left-hand turns for Jimmy Marr, who's checking into a different zip code right now, as Marr's got himself about a 13.5 car length gap on Eric Holmgren, spot number 2. Holmgren solidly in the number 2 spot as they continue to race in this 3rd qualifying heat event. Checkered flag gets set to fly this time. Going to the big show tonight in this heat event will be your race winner, the M1 Jimmy Marr. Okay, the checker flag kind of changed colors, but anyway. Okay, now the checkered flag is back to its original color. Jimmy Marr will be your winner. That was a head scratcher. Maybe a couple other parts of your body you're scratching at this time. Eric Holmgren will be second. Janiak is third. The 117 of Eggers is fourth. And Stevie Pinto will be declared back there in spot number 5. So Eddie Burgess up there at the number 1 spot. 41-year-old driver from nearby Montgomery, New York, concrete technician by day, race car driver on a Saturday night. The DNA Concrete Foundation's PMC chassis number 2 car. That's Eddie Burgess. Frank Doty on the outside of that front row. Neon Dion Naples out of Bloomingdale, 42-year-old driver and landscaper. Inside row number 3, the Cheap Thrill Bodge, number 88 car. We go racing, oh baby style. Oh yeah, hold on to your racing bloomers. It's going to be a great one here in Middletown tonight as they are shuffling the deck. And no bent cards in this one as they work down there through turns number 3 and 4. All this excitement in less than 1 lap, only here in Orange County on a Saturday night. Burgess is your race leader. Frank Doty runs in second. Matt Hitchcock, the M&H car, right there in spot number 3. Sammy Pepperoni Piazza down the back straightaway, works on to the inside of this fairgrounds. Look at him down there in 3 and 4. They go racing wide and wild for the number 3 spot early on in this qualifier. Piazza just not quite enough schwung beneath the sheet metal that time. He'll go another stab at that 3rd place battle. It's Piazza on the inside. Hitchcock on the wild side. Hitchcock continues the rim ride down the back straightaway, side by side. Whoa, he stayed under just a little bit longer that time, but that's where Piazza regained composure. Exiting turn number 4, taking over spot number 3, it's Sammy Piazza. Hitchcock runs in 4th right now. Neon Dion Naples back there in spot number 5. The Cheap Thrill Bodge, number 88 Sportsman. Getting him sorted out, but down the back straightaway, here comes Piazza. Piazza on to the inside of the speedway. He'll fight for the number 2 spot. Piazza takes over spot number 2, puts Frank Doty back to the number 3 spot. It's Sammy Piazza in the number 2 position right now. Doty and Hitchcock go at it for a 3rd place battle. All this happening behind the powers of steady Eddie Burgess, your number 1 place man in the field right now. Burgess continues to drive a great groove on the 5/8 mile, maintains about a 5 car length gap between himself and 2nd place hot shoe running Sammy Piazza. Piazza still in 2. Hitchcock 3 right now. Doty is 4th. Naples is 5th. Keith still 1 spot from transferring. Back in spot number 6. They'll work him down through 1 and 2. Vavrika, first time contender here at the Speedway in the 2011 racing season, back there in spot number 7. Coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time by for steady Eddie Burgess. Piazza in the number 2 spot. Hitchcock still 3rd, Doty 4th. Naples back in spot number 5. White flag quickly coming out of the field. And Piazza knows that time is a waste in Speedy. He'll try and close the gap back there from the number 2 spot. May run out of racing time as they've only got 2 more left-hand turns to make it to the checkered flag. Checkered flag getting set to be flown this time. Winning this 4th qualifier in the Dirt Car Sportsman division. Hits the number 2 car of Eddie Burgess. 2nd spot will be Sammy Piazza. 3rd, Matt Hitchcock. 4th place will be a 21 car Frank Doty. And 5th, it's Dion Naples. So again, going to the big show tonight from this qualifier is your race winner, Eddie Burgess. 2nd spot was the 29 of Sammy Piazza, followed in 3rd by... Well, we'll bring about a turn number 4 this time, and they'll look him over good and proper. Green flag does fly. Will it stick? We think it will. Tommy Vi on the inside of the Speedway. Takes that field out of turn number 2 this time. Looks over to his left, sees Emo Jr. getting him a run for the big bucks down the back straightaway. 3 wide down the backstretch. All that for the number 3 position in the field right now, while Paul Maiello goes way up the banking. And he rests himself in a wild battle for the number 3 spot. Maiello hammered down the home straightaway as him and Nazaro Jr. go at it for the number 3 spot. Meanwhile, from the outside, here comes Emerson Cargain Jr. to grab back the number 1 spot in the sunshine. Emo Jr., now your new race leader, puts your pole sitter Tommy Vi back to the number 2 position. Maiello making tracks on the rim shot as well, as Maiello closes in back there in spot number 3. Ronnie Nazaro is 4th. And Mikey Dutka, the Active Motorsports sponsor 29 car, back in spot number 5, battling for the number 1 spot again, as Tommy Vi found a couple of extra horsepower in the glove compartment, tried to apply them to the groove. Vi drops it back in line. Now he's got Maiello to deal with. Paul Maiello going to drop down to the inside of the Speedway, close the gap back there in the number 3 spot, coming up quickly on 2 laps to go. 3 laps down, 2 to go. Maiello in 3rd, Ronnie Nazaro Jr. is 4th, Dutka 5th, but top 2 drivers locked in a nose and tail battle. That's Emerson Cargain Jr. and the O-car Tommy Vi. Vi stays to the outside. Maiello tried to slingshot down to the inside. Not quite enough racing real estate that time to make the switch. White flag flies. 5/8 of a mile remain on these big racing odometers, if they had racing odometers. Cargain Jr. showing the way down the back straightaway. Mai is 2nd, Maiello 3rd, Nazaro Jr. 4th. And he's got a bad case of Dutka all over him. Salves, lotions, ointments, nothing going to help that circumstance as Dutka is determined to grab the number 4 spot away, but time runs down to the crawl as the wind goes out to the number 12 car, Emerson Cargain Jr. Tommy Vi was 2nd, Paul Maiello is 3rd, Ronnie Nazaro 4th, and Mikey Dutka in spot number 5. 2nd Pro Stock qualifying event. A car that he will no doubt occupy throughout the balance of the 2011 racing season. This is his own brand new Pro Stock car for this season after graduating up from the Pure Stock ranks, now called Street Stocks, and enjoying a tremendous amount of success, of course, picking up the championship again last year in this division. For graduating now into the senior division of full fendered racing. That's the Pro Stocks versus the Street Stocks. Torin Betterton also not on our starting lineup, but she's been putting into the race as well. That's the number 62 car back there, Torrin Betterton. Meanwhile, a lot of action happening at the front of the pack. Troy Arnold coming down the straightaway in the Burgeld Opticians car. He can see it now. That's Scooter Pete Van Aert in the number 2 position. Field works down through turns 3 and 4. Remember, 5 laps is the distance for the qualifiers in the Pro Stocks tonight. Top 2 drivers are checking out on the pack as LJ emerges into the number 3 spot. Betterton running in 4th. Nazaro back there in the number 5 slot. Top 2 drivers will be locked in a great battle once again as they work down the back straightaway. Arnold has it, but Scooter would like it. Scooter trying to close the gap back there in the number 2 spot, and he is doing so quickly. Scooter Pete Van Aert trying to take the race leader as a drafting partner down there through turns number 1 and 2. LJ breaks free from the grasp of racing, works himself by the number 3 spot, and he's got a long way to go to close that gap. Almost a straightaway lead that the top 2 drivers have on him. As LJ pedals back there in the number 3 position. Betterton is 4th. Nazaro back in spot number 5. Osborne dropping off the pace as the white flag comes out of the speedway. Mike Osborne gets a lap put on him. Meanwhile, top 2 drivers, nobody steps out of line. LJ still 3rd. Betterton is 4th. So the winner again will be Troy Arnold. Pete Van Aert will be 2nd. LJ is 3rd. Torrin Betterton 4th. And Nazaro in spot number 5. Understand that the backstretch drive-in FM transmitter is not working. We'll be carrying Jim Reef to the scene because we got those switches up here, so not quite. Last chance qualifiers event to be held a little bit later on before intermission. Country Chevrolet pace car down to the inside. Here we come out of turn number 4. Big blocks. First of 4 qualifying events. Johnny Lito, the Hermance Motorsports 33 car, going to bring that pack a big block horsepower. Whoa! That could have been ugly. Yellow is back on the field. Yellow, yellow, amber, amber, amber. Well, that could have been a short stainer if there ever was one. When you come off that 4th turn, you stomp on that baby, you find yourself going the wrong way. And you know a freight train of competition is barreling down your butt cheeks. Well, going to let them regroup, wipe the sweat from their brow, and try it once again. Looks a whole lot better this time. On the speedway, race leader is the judge, Johnny Lito. Little Jeffer, Jeff Hetzler Jr. down the back straightaway, holds on to the number 2 spot. He's got Bobbitt all over him. Bobbitt down to the inside of spot number 3 right now. Richie Urich. Urich runs back there in the Chevrolet, number 10 car. But Bobby McCannon, the McCannon excavating car, inside line, a fast way around the 5/8 mile tonight. McCannon slingshots into the number 3 spot. He takes Richie Urich with him. Urich now up to the number 4 spot, putting Bobbitt back to that hot seat spot. Bobbitt running in spot number 5. Urich comes on the inside. Wow, great move by Richie Urich. The ageless veteran of big block modified racing here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. Urich runs himself to the number 3 right now. McGannon is 4th. And trouble in turn number 2. Donnie Elliott sitting the wrong way, looking across the street at his business. Says, things look okay over there, but that's not the way I want to check it out. Yellow lights on the speedway. Trouble coming out of turn number 2. The 49 car is Donnie Elliott. Got mixed up and just in a little bit of a jingle with some of the other back markers. Danny Creedon, opening night feature winner, also involved in that mishap. As he's on the inside, can hardly see him from down there. The Johnston's Toyota safety truck, the Toyota Tundra safety truck, also going down there to see if there's any loose debris on the speedway. There's Elliott in the 49 car, all powered back up. And it looks like Creedon will require some assistance back behind pit wall. Well, all this excitement in just 2 laps of time here in this first qualifying event for the big block modifieds. Crossover sign being given to the field when they come down the straightaway this time. Letting these guys know we'll be back to green flag racing excitement next time by. Field being reorchestrated behind the powers of the Country Chevrolet Camaro pace car. After 2 laps of excitement, Johnny Lito still your race leader. Second spot, Little Jeffer, Jeff Hetzler Jr. Third spot is then the 10 car, Richie Urich. Fourth, the 21, Big Brother Bobby McGannon, the McGannon Excavating sponsored mount. Then back in spot number 5 is Jimmy Bobbitt out of Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Top 5 get that transfer spot to the feature event. Two laps have it. 6 laps remain. 4 qualifying heat events for the big block modifieds. Here we come. Lito gonna set the pace, bringing that field of big block horse puppies down into turn number 4. Green flag flies. Ready to go back to racing. Lito in command of the drive right now. Little Jeffer into the number 2 spot. Richie Urich runs in 3. It's McGannon in 4th. Craig Mitchell, Hollywood Craig aboard that FP Hats 93 car from Wappinger Falls, New York, back there in the number 5 position. Second place battle is on. Boy, I'll talk about the battle of the ageless veteran himself, Richie Urich, running against the youngster in the big block modified ranks, second generation driver, Little Jeff Hetzler Jr. Little Jeffer holding his own, running a good groove right now against Richie Urich's domain. Urich studying the groove of the youngster on the 5/8 mile. The youngster fails to be intimidated. He is back there in the number 2 spot, holding a good run against a hard-charging Richie Urich. Field works out of turn number 4 this time. Now we're on the top side of this qualifying run. The judge, Johnny Lito, the Hermans Motorsports car. And Urich into the number 2 spot. Urich now at the altar. He's in the bridesmaid's position, and he is going a judge hunting. Urick runs the number 2 spot. Little Jeffer third. Mitchell running in fourth. Big brother Bob McGannon back there in spot number 5. Times winding down. Urick in the A through Z Trucking and Landscape number 10 car. Working a great groove. He just needs a little bit of salvation now to close up that big gap. White flag flies, 5/8 of a mile. Johnny Leto in command of the drive in the Hermans Motorsports 33 car. Urick in the number 2 spot. Little Jeffer in 3. Craig Mitchell rides in the number 4 slot. It's still Bobby McGannon in spot number 5, and then Donnie Elliott, 1 spot from getting a ticket to the big show in the number 6 spot. Checkered flag comes out, the win goes to Johnny Leto. Second spot, a great run by the 10 car, Richie Urick. Third spot, the J17, Little Jeff Hetzler. Fourth, it's Craig Mitchell, and fifth, Bobby McGannon. So gone to the big dance tonight. Out of this qualifying round, the winner is the 33 car, Johnny Leto. Second spot, Locked motor in the sheet metal this week. As we said, we send get well wishes out to his dad, Billy Sr. Had some pains there, went into the St. Luke's Hospital this morning, and they're going to check out his carburetor over the next day or two and give him a good, clean bill of health before we see him back here at the Speedway. Here we come on turn number 4. Billy Wilson, another ageless veteran of big block excitement, fell victim to Bruce Klein, the banger bullet. Klein down the backstretch, grabbing the number 1 spot away. Wilson and the Bullfrog go at it for the number 2 spot. All this in less than 1 lap here in the hard clay serving tray. Here's your race leader, Bruce Klein, the Kleins Auto Repair 59 car. Billy Wilson, the Wilson's Auto and Truck 7 car. Back there in spot number 2, the Lennon Joe's Pizza car. The number 19 machine, the 79 machine of Jeremy Markle runs in spot number 3. Markle in the number 3 spot right now. Jeremy Markle, the Bullfrog himself, solidly at home in the number 3 spot. And he's got Gary Tompkins, the Sparta Trucking car to deal with. Mike Storms in the Tri-State Roofing and Siding car, back in spot number 5. And the Jeffer himself, Jeff Hetzler Sr., rides back in spot number 6 right now. Hetzler in the backup car from the Craig Mitchell Racing Stables. Looking to shake things down and get that car into the starting spot for the feature event tonight. Meanwhile, Klein, Mr. Unbeatable in this qualifying run with about a 9-car length gap on Billy Wilson Sr. Wilson at home in the office behind the controls of that number 7 car, and Storms having trouble. Mike Storms in the Sherlock Racing number 10 car down out of harm's way in the pit area. That puts the Jeffer into the feature event tonight. 3 cars right now fight for the number 2 spot. Billy Wilson has it. The Bullfrog, Jeremy Markle, and Gary Tompkins, they all want to go racing into the number 2 position. Markle closing the gap on Billy Wilson. Wilson in the number 2 spot right now. They'll rumble on a turn number 4 this time. Race leader still is Bruce Klein in the 59 car. Second, third, and fourth, you can throw a blanket over them, but then they couldn't see. Wilson holds on to the number 2 dogfight. It is still Jeremy Markle in spot number 3, Tompkins 4th. The Jeffer back there in spot number 5. Those 5 cars are gone to the big show tonight. Loudon shaking down a brand new Big Rock power plant in the Cheap Thrill Bogs. Naples Landscaping number 1L car. On the top side right now, 6 laps have been scored. We'll look for the white flag to fly this time by. 6 laps down. We're going to see lap number 7 go up in lights this time. That means just 4 more left-hand turns and a checkered flag. Bruce Klein doing the Saturday Night Cruise aboard that 59 car. Long-time campaigner here at this legendary House of Power. That's Bruce Klein out of Bangor, Pennsylvania. Wilson second. Got Markle all over him back there in spot number 3. Checkered flag comes out. Going to the feature event tonight from Bangor, Pennsylvania. The Bangor Bullet, Bruce Klein. Second spot, Billy Wilson. Third, Jeremy Markle. Fourth, it's Gary Tompkins. And fifth, the Jeffer, Jeff Hetzler Sr. Well, a good clean run by this second qualifying group. And your winner again was Bruce Klein. Billy Wilson was second. Jeremy Markle third, followed by Gary Tompkins. And is Mike Ruggiero, not carrying his old car with him that he used to run here at the Speedway, the 16. So the 53 is Mike Ruggiero. Just a different car, different number, different color. Same driver. He's on the pole. Billy Van Imwingen Jr. aboard the 23 car. He's on the outside. Van Imwingen out of Port Jervis, New York. Another car co-sponsored by Len and Joe's Pizza Shops. Here we come, on turn number 4. We're no racing this time. Ruggiero on the inside, but here comes Van Imwingen, and boy, he's got a powerful race car tonight. Wow, down the back straightaway. He's got the hot shoe, but we've got problems in turn number 2. Yellow on the Speedway. Jesse Klein and Randy Sherlock come together. Meanwhile, Jackie Brown also heads behind pit wall. Looks like there's some problems with the componentry in the right front corner of that Mountain right rear corner. He's got himself a flat right rear racing sneaker. So Jackie Brown going back behind pit wall as well. Ruggiero in the Escape RV, Midnight Auto number 53 car. Still your pole sitter, as one lap had not been scored before that caution happened down there in turn number 2. Now both cars drive away under their own power. That's good news. Here's Sherlock, the Tri-State Roofing and Siding, number 10 car, out of Milford, Pennsylvania. About a half hour or so down the road, down 84. Cross the state line, and the first thing you'll see is Milford, Pennsylvania. Get on the main drag, look off to your left, you'll see the beautiful Tri-State Roofing and Siding complex. Jesse Klein takes the 59J car down behind pit wall for a quick look-see over. Don't forget 50-50 being sold throughout the grandstand right now. One half goes back to some lucky winner here in the Orange County Fair Speedway tonight. The other half gets put in the driver's points fund account. Second prize tonight, a large pizza pie from your local Papa John's here in Middletown. So you and 7 friends can enjoy that second prize tonight. If you don't have 7 friends, see Ken White down there. He'll gladly be one of your friends for a slice of pizza. For a Dunkin' Donut, he'll be their friend for the rest of your life. Jesse Klein coming back out onto the Speedway. Klein's Auto Repair, number 59 car. Jackie Brown also heading back out onto the playing surface. So everybody back in the right formation. Of course, anybody in the pits has to go back to the tail side of the starting spot. Caution lights have been turned out. Ruggiero on the pole, Van Imwingen Jr. on the outside. Watch this start again. Boy, we saw last time in turn number 2, Van Imwingen Jr. had the hot shoe on because that car just bolted out to the number 1 spot. Ruggiero to the inside aboard the Escape RV 53 car. Here comes Van Imwingen. He'll wind it up like a rubber band. Whoops! Oops! Oh, sorry. Didn't see you there. Down the back, straightaway takes the leader as a drafting partner. Ruggiero in command of the drive. Van Imwingen Jr. is second. Working down through 3 and 4 right now. Putting lap number 1 up in lights. Ruggiero is your race leader. Tony Wilson third. And here comes Higby. Higby in the Hutchings Insurance Bada Binga Pizza 97 car. Takes over the number 3 spot. Wilson Jr. back in spot number 4. The Milford Mad Dog, Randy Sherlock. Sherlock in the feature event already. He's back in the number 5 spot. 1 lap. All this excitement has been before us. Ruggiero in command of the drive. Van Imwingen is second. Higby is third. Sherlock fourth right now. Wilson, Donnie Wilson back in spot number 5. Cliff Airman runs in spot number 6. Jackie Brown is 7th. Jesse Klein back there in spot number 8. Higby slowly pulling in to Van Imwingen's domain. But Van Imwingen got one powerful big block modified car down the straightaways. Higby, great driver through the turns. Watch him try and close the gap on a turn number 4 this time. Higby takes a sneak peek down to the inside. Not quite enough schwupp beneath the sheet metal to make the pass that Higbee fumbles through the glove compartment, looks for the rabbit's foot, clenches it in his sweaty little palms, hopes to take him up to the number 2 position. Meanwhile, here comes the Milford Mad Dog, Randy Sherlock. Sherlock going back to the number 4 spot, and he is going to Higbee hunting. Sherlock, a very fast big block modified, the backup ride from the Tri-State Roofing and Siding Stables. Sherlock back to the number 4 spot, Donnie Wilson. And the Armbruster Racing Photos 4B car, he's in the hunt right now, back in spot number 5. Coming up on 2 laps to go. 2 to go this time by Ruggiero can do no wrong. Ruggiero steady the pace right now. Van Inwingen Jr., the Lennon Joe's Pizza 23 car, back in the number 2 slot. Higbee rides in 3. All this action right now taking place in the first 7 laps of competition. White flag flies one more time around. Randy Sherlock back in the number 4 slot, cannot find the horsepower to close the gap on Higbee. 2 more left-hand turns. The almighty black and white flies going to the big dance tonight. The winner of this one, the 53 car, Mikey Ruggiero. Second spot will be the number 23, Van Inwingen Jr. Higbee is 3rd, Sherlock is 4th, and Donnie Wilson in spot number 5. So, 5 more spots, 5 more cars into the feature event lineup for tonight. The win was the number 53 car, Mike Ruggiero. 1 spot, the Sparta Trucking 53M car. Whitehead on the outside from Vernon, New Jersey. Big block horsepower down through turns number 3 and 4 this time. Looking for the almighty green flag. They'll find it this time. Here we come on turn number 4. 4th qualifying event is now underway. Quickly, they'll throw themselves into turn number 1, and wow, watch that scramble for the number 3 spot. 4 cars go racing down the back straightaway. Clinton Mills slipped off the peg as he took himself backwards quickly, but leading the number 1 lap is the number 244 Chris Whitehead. Morrell 2nd, Dodd 3rd, Heinley is 4th, Meyer up to the number 5 spot. Tommy Meyer, the Barry's Lawn Service car, runs in spot number 5. Then Clinton Mills tries to rebound in spot 6. Mikey Kolka is back there in the number 7 slot. Securing that lead right now on lap number 2 is Chris Whitehead, the 34th spot, 244 machine. Whitehead in command of the drive. 4th place battle, the Tornado on the outside. Meyer on the inside, and Timmy Heinley in the 1H machine outpowers Meyer down the back straightaway and grabs away the number 4 position. Whitehead is your race leader. Morrell 2nd, Dodd 3rd, Heinley 4th, Meyer is 5th. Millsy back there in spot number 6. Clinton Mills 1 spot from transferring right now. It'll be an attempt in the last chance qualifiers race should he not be able to pedal himself up 1 more position. Kolka back there in spot number 7 has not made much advances since the drop of the initial green flag. Quickly up to the halfway side. 4 laps down and 4 to go. Race lead. Now a very, very convincing lead that Chris Whitehead has. Whitehead, another Saturday night campaigner for many a years here at the Orange County Speedway. Holds on to a very, very convincing lead. Joe Morrell still 2nd. Steve Dodd from here in Middletown. Dodd runs the number 3 spot. The Tornado, Timmy Heinley out of Monticello, New York, back there in spot number 4. Meyer out of Waldwick, New Jersey, runs in the number 5 spot. Quickly on the top side of this 4th qualifying event, 6 laps down, just 2 more times around. Nobody steps on the line as time winds down to this final qualifier for the big blocks. White flag, you see the white bed sheet pressed and flying in the wind down there on turn number 4. Whitehead accepts the challenge, holds on to the number 1 spot. 2nd place, it is Joe Morrell, the 53M car. Dodd still 3rd. Heinley is 4th. And Meyer back there in spot number 5. Looks like that's going to be a cap as the checker flag comes out. Gone to the feature event from the 4th qualifier. The winner, Chris Whitehead. Second spot, good run tonight by Joe Morrell aboard the 53M car. Third spot, Steve Dodd. Fourth, Timmy Heinley. And fifth, Tommy Meyer. Well, there you have it again. Top 5 finishers get that starting spot of the feature event. They go to the winner, Chris. Caution lights getting turned out. Country Chevrolet Camaro pace car brought to us by Joey Insurance. And, of course, a big smile on Buck Barrell's face as he's the pilot of that pace car for many, many years here at the Speedway. Says it goes a whole lot faster than the old Marl Motors race cars. Handles just about the same, too. That's going back quite a few years. Here we come on a turn number 4. Last chance qualifier for the Dirt Car Sportsman. Well, opening lap jitters. Yellow lights will come on the Speedway. Vavrica and Mikey Vigiletti locked together down there, not in holy matrimony. Boy, a big thank you to Mama Sharon Taraka. Oh boy, we're no Schnickerdoodles good tonight. Oh yeah. Everybody's looking like, what? You got Schnickerdoodles? Yeah, well, sorry, there's only about 35 of them, so they never went past the announcer's tower. Ray and Sharon Traka from Spears Jewelers keep our stomach full on a Saturday night with the best homemade cookies in the tri-state area. Mama Sharon outdid herself tonight. Boy, those Schnickerdoodles really hit the spot. Of course, Ray keeps the home fires burning and keeps the coals hot in the oven there to make sure that those cookies come out just right. Randomly samples the first 44 cookies that come out of the oven to make sure that quality control is at its finest. Does a good job at that, too. Cleanup continues down there in turn number 2. This caution brought to us by Ken White's Snowless Snow Plowing Service. He guarantees he will come out at least 48 hours before the storm even starts. And when he's done plowing your driveway, he'll be the only flake left in it. Taking on new contracts for the 2011 winter months. Our good friend Ken White down there. The Snowless Snow Plowing Company. Of course, he knows all about working hard because him and his brother toiled for so many years on the New York Department of Transportation. Competed to see who could wear off the shovel handles the quickest. Has 13 worn off shovel handles mounted in a showcase above his fireplace at home. Of course, you can't see the fireplace because he's got these empty Dunkin' Donuts boxes all over the living room. Not to say that he snacks or anything like that. Yeah, that's Ken White. Well, here's the half a straw hammer. The Think Fiberglass #1 car, Mikey Vigiletti. He was locked in that mishap down there in turn number 2. Vigiletti coming up through the ranks into the Dirt Car Sportsman division this year. Out of Stony Point, New York. Think Fiberglass, that's a multi-car sponsor here in the 2011 racing season. They specialize in waterproofing and new shower installs. So if you got that shower upstairs that's kind of leaking down into the living room and causing you not to be able to see the TV set, you might want to call Think Fiberglass. They do excellent in-house waterproofing and great systems for doing new shower installs as well. We're going to regroup. This is the last chance qualifier again for the Dirt Car Sportsman. Somewhat of a junior division of open wheel competition here at the Orange County Speedway, but junior only to the big block modified drivers themselves, as we no longer have small block modifieds on a weekly basis. Tyler Odendahl in the number 1 spot right now aboard car number 9. Don't forget again the Hard Clay Racing Magazine, the souvenir program available beneath the full cover grandstand at the souvenir booth. Stop off right next door to the Orange County novelty stand operated by Dave's Racing Collectibles. Great racing apparel, Orange County apparel, lots of drivers apparel, die-cast collectibles, just to mention a few of the offerings at the Orange County Fair Speedway t-shirt booth. Dave's Racing Collectibles does a great job here all season long. Got that place fully stocked for tonight's competition. So, shopping experience will be delightful. Dropping the green flag finds Tyler Odendahl up there in the number 1 spot. Keith Still is second. Mikey Traver, first time here in the 2011 racing season, finds himself in the number 3 spot. There by 3 cars. Vavrika, Boniface, and Hassenmeyer. Hassenmeyer, no relation to that guy that was in the Nutcracker. What was that? That was Drosselmeyer, Papa Drosselmeyer, that's right. Well, everybody trying to get themselves sorted out down there, but maybe a call for the unsung heroes at the Speedway, the Wrecker Service, because it looks possibly like Zach Vavrika in the 78 car may be requiring some assistance. Don't see that car moving yet under his own power. Don't forget, Jumpin' Jake's, owned and operated by our good friend Jake Cassioli. Store is located in the old Caldors Mall, Middletown, Route 211, also over in Fishkill on Main Street. 7 days a week, Jumpin' Jake's is open, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Friday and Saturday, they're open till 8 o'clock at night. Jumpin' Jake's features all those big bouncy houses, all inside their nice locations. All day play for just $10. Boy, I'll bet you'll see Ken White down there this week. All day play at Jumpin' Jake's bouncy houses for just $10. Bring in your racing ticket stub from the Orange County Speedway. You'll get even a big discount as well. Fishkill store also has a miniature golf course. So your next party, birthday party, whatever kind of party you have, call Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Center. They can make your next party something you'll never forget. Signing autographs, of course, tonight during intermission will be Danny Creedon, Tommy Meyer, Jimmy Spellman, and Gary Edwards Jr. They'll all be joining us behind the full-cover grandstand this evening over here in the concession midway, and they'll be signing autographs during the intermission period here this evening. Pro Stock feature will be after this event. That'll take us into our intermission period after the Pro Stock feature. Then we'll come back after intermission this evening with the big block modified Consi Street Stock feature, Dirt Car Sportsman feature, and the nightcap here this evening, of course, will be the big block modified feature, followed by the Demolition Derby. Here we come on a turn number 4 this time. 1 lap old is this last chance qualifier for the Dirt Car Sportsman. Tyler Odendahl quickly back to the number 1 position. Keith Still second. Mikey Traver is third. Kronk back there in spot number 4. Ken Boniface back up into the number 5 spot. 4 cars get the final 4 starting spots in tonight's feature event. Vavrika in trouble, drops off the pace down the back straightaway. He is pit bound. Danny Kronk in the K3 machine down to the inside of Mikey Traver, wheel to wheel down the back straightaway. Kronk, great paint job on the K3 car this year. Pulls into turn number 3, finds himself in the number 3 position. Traver now fighting for the number 4 spot against Kenny Boniface Jr. Boniface out to the inside, grabs spot number 4 away. Remember, only 4 cars go to the feature event. Mikey Traver, first time here this year, is out of the mix to go to the big dance tonight. George Bagg in trouble, drops off the pace, takes the shortcut into the pit area, down the home straightaway. Odendahl in command of the drive, still second. Danny Kronk is third, Boniface is fourth. Traver falling back into the number 5 spot and falling farther back out of the competitive picture. On the top side of this last chance qualifier for the dirt car Sportsman. Last 4 starting spots, top 4 drivers across the wire. Yellow lights on, trouble down yonder in turn number 4. Bobby Hassenmeyer comes together with appearing to be the 44S car, I do believe, of Johnny Smikla. And a shake of the camera confirms that assumption. Remember, all the action all night long put on DVD courtesy of racinvideo.com. That's RACIN video.com. Check them out online or pick those DVDs up from opening night here at the Speedway. Tommy, I still need mine. Well, it all started with the recap when Hassenmeyer lost control going into turn number 4, was sideways, drifted up into the line of Smikla. Smikla had no place to go, so he had to hit him, and he did. Toyota Tundra safety truck brought to us by Johnston's Toyota, going out there to pick up any loose and errant debris, check things out, make sure the speedway surface is back in a safe racing condition. Hey, gotta tell you this, if you've got an old camper sitting at home that's 26 feet or less in length, call the Speedway office if you don't know what to do with it and it's kind of like just rotting away. We're looking to get a collection of them. Now you're all scratching your head saying, huh? Yeah, the eve of destruction. We need some old donated campers. So if you've got one, don't worry about fixing the bed, just make sure nobody's living in it. Call Whitey at the Speedway office. We got to get a couple of campers together for the eve of destruction. More on that later. Five laps down, single file restart. Tyler Odendahl is your race leader. Still second. Kronk is third. Boniface Jr. is fourth. Here we come on a turn number 4. Green flag flies. Back to racing speeds. Odendahl back in command of the drive. Odendahl on the outside. Almost saw some nose piece by the 11 of Keith Still, but Odendahl hopped back on the gas pedal. That big go switch on the floorboard. Put himself back up in the drive. Odendahl holds on to the number 1 spot. Still in the number 2 position. Third and fourth, nose and tail battling continues between Danny Kronk and Kenny Boniface Jr. Still's got the ability to make a move on the inside, but not quite enough short beneath the sheet metal to make the pass out of 2. Down the straightaway, it is all Odendahl in the 9 car. Odendahl very strong in the straights and still very competitive in the turns. White flag comes out this time. 4 more left-hand turns to the checkered flag. And Keith Still's got one last stab at pulling a rabbit from the hat. Oh, it's not going to happen this time. Odendahl pulls back up to the number 1 spot. 3 car lengths the gap between himself and Keith Still. Checkered flag coming out, going to the big dance tonight for the Dirt Car Sportsman top 4 finishers. Your winner is the number 9 car, Tyler Odendahl. Keith Still is second, Danny Kronk is third, and Kenny Boniface Jr. in spot number 4. So again, going to the feature event is your leader, Tyler Rodendahl. Second spot was the 11 Key Still. Third, Danny Crunk in the K3 machine. And fourth, Middletown Autowreckers was established. 1987, Johnny Carbone picked up the ownership rights. 16-acre sprawling complex, recycling centers, scrap metal, cars, trucks, all types of equipment, truck parts, roll-off containers for demolition and scrap metal and cleanups. Say hello to Supervisor Clark Bradford, longtime driver of the number 81 car here at the Speedway. Green lights on around the Speedway. Vi on the inside, Scooter on the outside. Working out of turn number 2, down the back straightaway, Vi to the outside. Here comes Scooter, the Burgeld Opticians number 29 car. Whoa, down to the inside. He'll ride this time and try and grab the number 1 spot away from the Violator, Tommy Vi. Vi holding on to the lead for lap number 1 right now. 14 more times around, but he's got a bad case of Scooter all over him. Scooteritis runs back there in the number 2 spot right now, trying to shake Vi out of that number 1 spot. Vi up to the outside. Bottom line is open. Here comes Scooter on the inside. Van Aert cannot make the pass down the back straightaway right now. Maiello still back there in the number 3 spot. Watch him out of turn number 4 this time. Paul Maiello in car number 92. Farther back in spot number 3. Emerson Cargate in 4. Troy Arnold running in 5. Nazaro back in spot number 6. It's Nazaro and Nazaro right now, 5th and 6th. Out of turn number 2, back for the number 1 place battle. Tommy Vi in the number 1 spot in the O car. And Van Aert, he is giving Scooter all the racing room he needs. They run him out of turn number 4 this time, almost slide by slide. Vi in the number 1 spot. Scooter right there all over him. Scooter needs about 3 more horsepower to get by Tommy Vi right now. Works down the back straightaway. Fuzzy dice flying from the rearview mirror. Scooter Pete Van Aert drives her in deep down in turn number 3. Watch him out of turn number 4 this time. These guys are putting on a great Pro Stock feature event battle. Well, Mikey Osborne may shake up the dust right now, getting a lap put on him. Top 2 drivers clear him down there in turn number 1. Now Scooter got a rebound. Back in the number 2 spot. Got himself about a 1.5 car length gap between them. Don't like to see that happen as Scooter tries to rebound now and close the gap. Fight back with Tommy Vi for the number 1 spot. Maiello still 3rd. Works down on a turn number 4 this time. Emerson Cargate Jr. is 4th. Troy Arnold back there in slot number 5. Scooter looked that time to be maybe scratching the surface at running the outside line down the straightaway. But out of turn number 2, Vi gives him all the racing room he needs on the inside. Watch him down the back straightaway. Couldn't put a dollar bill between them. Oh, Vi tried to come down to the inside. Man, Van Aert put the brakes on that time. Scooter Pete Van Aert, longtime campaigner, a full fender and excitement here at the Orange County Speedway. Sets the GPS on victory lane. Let's see if he will arrive. Out of turn number 2, it is all Vi and Van Aert for the number 1 battle. Maiello just taking it all in from back there in spot number 3. Maiello still runs the number 3 spot. Mo Jr. in spot number 4. That's Emerson Cargate. Now looks off to his left and sees Troy Arnold enter the picture. Arnold back there in spot number 5. Then Mikey Duca runs in 6th. Ronnie Nazaro 7th. Torrin Betterton back there in spot number 8. Russ Nazaro is 9th, and LJ, little Joel Merge, still shaking the bugs out of the new Pro Stock. The 21 J car back there in spot number 6. Mikey Osborne having problems dropping off the pace, may go another lap down to the field. 7 laps have been scored, 8 go up in laps. Halfway sign comes out this time. Tommy Vi knows there's some horsepower breathing on his tail. He can feel the heat. He can feel the breath from Pete Van Aert down the back straightaway. He knows that Scooter's all over him. Somebody's back there. Mustard. He's now in the number 3 spot. Here comes Troy Arnold. Arnold, a good Pro Stock campaigner every Saturday night at the Speedway. He's now closed the gap for the 4th place battle. Maiello now back in spot number 3. Arnold 4th. And Mo Jr. back in spot number 5. Time winding down. Van Aert trying every trick in the book and running Vi on a very clean basis so far. Vi trying to yell out the back window, shoot, shoot, get away. Enough of this. Pete Van Aert not giving up the fight. Still back there in the number 2 spot. The Burge Health Opticians clearly seeing his way down the back straightaway. Van Aert now closing the gap once again. Took a sneak peek to the outside. Now puts his power back down to the inside. Nose and tail battle. Takes the leader as a traveling partner down the straightaway. Scooter's going to test the waters on the outside this time. Scooter hanging it all out to dry on the rim shot. Down from turn number 2, but now Vi drifts up to the outside line of the speedway. Racing real estate being absorbed by Vi that time. Tommy Vi cannot shake him off. He is right there in the shadows. Now Van Aert takes a look down to the inside. Meanwhile, Paul Maiello and Troy Arnold are right there in spots number 3 and 4. It's gonna get exciting now because Maiello has entered the 3rd place battle. They'll work on nose and tail down the back straightaway. Troy Arnold waits for a place to go racing. Then Emerson Cargain Jr. back there in spot number 5. We're coming up on just 2 more laps to go. 2 to go this time by. Here's the battle on a turn number 4. 4 cars all capable of seeing action in victory lane tonight. Works out! Trouble at turn number 2! Maiello did the donut. Oh, it is not over yet. Yellow lights come on the speedway when we thought it was a clean shot to the green flag. Trouble out of turn number 2. Finds Paul Maiello taking a look up there into the backstretch drive-in. Well, on the little big screen, brought to us by RacingVideos.com, we see Maiello going into turn number 2 very hard. And right there, Maiello may have come into contact with Scooter Pete Van Aert's tail side and put himself sideways. Put the binders on real quickly because he knew he was a little bit too close to the sheet metal on the 29 car. And when he put the binders on, that kind of turned him sideways. And then Troy Arnold was right there in the path. And it was just curtains from there, those ugly polyester curtains. Yep, and took him right around. Mikey Duca, of course, also drifted into the line of that caution and came into contact with Paul Maiello's 92 car. So the Johnston's Toyota safety truck goes out just to pick up any loose parts laying on the speedway. Meanwhile, Maiello fires back up the 92 car. Looks like he's going to rejoin the tail side of the field. Well, maybe. Yeah, he'll turn that baby around. Maybe not. Well, 13 laps have been scored in the Middletown Autowreckers Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Center feature event for the Pro Stock Senior Division of full-fendered racing here at the Orange County Speedway. Coming up after this will be the official intermission period. Don't forget, signing autographs tonight downstairs behind the full-cover grandstand will be Danny Creedon, Tommy Meyer, Jimmy Spellman, and Gary Edwards Jr. So you pick up that Hard Clay Racing magazine, stop off at the autograph table. Have those top 4 drivers put their John Hancock right in your souvenir program. What a great way to commemorate your night to the races here at the Orange County Fairgrounds. Single file restart. It's going to get hot on the 5/8 mile right now. Watch these top 2 drivers go at it. Now, Troy Arnold sits back there in spot number 3. He's got a lot of horsepower beneath the sheet metal of that car as well. Green flag flies. Here we go. Tommy Vi going to show the way. Watch him on the inside line of the speedway that time. Tries to hug the inside real estate, but he drifts up to the outside out of turn number 2. Don't know if he intends to do that or not. The car just kind of gets away on him every time he comes out of turn number 2 and he drifts up a little bit. That's when Scooter Pete Van Aert thinks he may have a last chance crack at grabbing the number 1 spot away. White flag comes out. Last lap racing action. Now, here comes Emerson Cargain Jr. battling with Troy Arnold for spot number 3. It ain't over yet as we work out of turn number 2 this time. If Scooter's going to pull a rabbit from the hat, he better start tugging on Fluffy's ears. He's only got 2 more left-hand turns to go. Transponders stand by. Here we come on a turn number 4. They're going to drag race to the checkered flag. The win will go to the violator, Tommy Vai. Well, an all baby finish. After working them every which way on the speedway, the win goes to Tommy Vai. And car number 0, second spot will be Scooter Pete Van Aert. A great job he did out there tonight. Third spot, the 73, was Troy Arnold. Fourth, the number 12, Emerson Cargain Jr. And fifth, the 31 car, Ronnie Nazaro Jr. Well, got about a 20-minute intermission right now before us while the Tommy Vai car makes his way across the scales. Once he gets the tip of the fedora, he'll send him out here to the start-finish line, and we'll get a couple of words with him when he climbs out of the cockpit of that full-fendered Pro Stock race car. Check, check.
Maybe I did. I didn't check. I probably did. You gonna try it here or no? Just play bridge. Okay.
So we'll wait for Tommy Vai to come out onto the speedway surface as he crossed the scales and got the nod. Passed with flying colors. Meanwhile, folks from Middletown Autowreckers and, of course, Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Centers will come out here and congratulate Tommy Vai on his second night of racing in the 2011 racing season, putting a big notch in the gun handle for his Pro Stock racing career.
Right, yeah. Okay.
You know? So they're going to regroup them right now. The drivers had a chance to feel exactly what type of racing surface is beneath them after we did add some moisture down at the start of intermission tonight. Caution lights have been turned out. We're set to go green flag racing this time. Here we come out of turn number 4. Hey, announcer boy, let's go racing.
Sorry, I was texting. Caution light has been turned out around the speedway. Consolation Racing. Here they come out of turn number 4 down to the turn number 1. Billy Loudon up on the outside pole. Donnie Elliott down to the inside. Looks like Cliff Airman. He'll wash up spot number 4 right now down to the inside. I do believe that is the monster Clinton Mills down the back straightaway. They'll head down to turn number 3.
Loudon Jr. did some wrenching on that modified between the heat and now because he's taken off a whole lot faster than he did at the drop of the green in that qualifying heat. Billy Loudon Jr. on a fast Pennsylvania car looking good back there in the number 2 spot. Here comes Cliff Airman right now in the Sparta Trucking 32 car.
A couple of spots right in front of him, of course, is the judge, Johnny Lito. Well, make that a couple spots behind him, I stand stupid. Of course, in front of him is the Monster Mills right now. 6 cars will qualify. Jack and Trouble got one on the wall down at turn number 3.
Yeah, well, that's the number 10 car, Mike Storms, aboard the Tri-State Roofing and Siding 10S machine. As he's in trouble down there between turns 3 and 4. Yellow lights on. All this excitement, LJ, and only one lap being put into the history books.
Well, definitely Mikey Storms in big trouble down in turn number 3 right now. Of course, he will have to make a trip down to ECS Auto Stores, possibly to fix that Sherlock number 10 car. So he sits idle now over there in turn number 3. Looked as if maybe something broke. See if the bald-headed eagle, Tommy Zabin, happened to catch a picture of that. Did you catch that, Tom? Thank you for participating.
Yeah, we just might be in luck. Hold on here. See where all that may have happened, if he just stopped on his own or if there was contractual contact made or not. We see him going into turns 3 and 4. And he was scraping the concrete, it looks like all by himself. The sparks were flying from the right side of that automobile.
Foot may have slipped off the brake.
And as our good friend Brian Mulligan would say, soul. But the only thing good he said in English, because everything else he said was in French. He's our French announcer in Dirt Motorsports from way up there north of the border. And
yes, I think I've heard him many times at Syracuse, Rolling Wheels.
The most succinct English word he ever said was soul. After that, it just all went French, you know?
So again, Mikey Storms over in turn number 3 right now with the Tri-State Roofing number 10 car. He's going to need some assistance from SKJ Towing. Keep in mind, too, ladies and gentlemen, the end of tonight's racing program, we will have a 4-cylinder demolition derby. Of course, we do have 3 cars signed up for that just now. That is Johnny Seth, Kenny Owen, and Chris Marino. We'll see them in action as soon as all the racing is done here this evening. Of course, 4 cylinders, once again, will be in demolition derby action here later on this evening.
Yeah, there could be some major problems aboard the componentry of the Tri-State car as he's getting a sling ride back behind pit wall. And although there's only one vehicle involved, that could be a costly ride. Even if you have a AAA membership, it's usually a very expensive call to Florida, New York when you hear, "Hello, Barron's." Oh, baby, you better be sitting down and have a lot of lead in your pencil.
I can't top that. It's a good one.
last chance qualifiers event for the big block modifieds 2x2. And we come down into turn number 4. Elliott Loudon Jr. going to show the way.
And a whole gaggle of race cars right behind them. They are 3-4 wide, bouncing off of each other. DC Danny Creedon, your opening night feature winner. On the outside, looking in, trying to get into that 6th spot right now. Keep an eye on Mikey Kolka. Down to the inside of Jackie Brown, and in front of him is the judge, Johnny Lito.
Kolka takes a wide line down through 3 and 4 this time. Top 2 drivers coming out of turn number 4. They are your leader, Donnie Elliott and Billy Loudon Jr. The Cheap Thrill Bonds, Naples Landscaping 1L car. It's going to get hot on the 5/8 mile now. Watch the battle for spot number 3. Clinton Mills and Cliff Airman.
The man on the bubble right now is Jackie Brown Jr. way back in spot number 6. He is driving the 6X car. Mikey Kolka, Danny Creedon, and a whole gaggle of other race cars. Chris Schultz up to the top side as well. He's trying to race his way into tonight's big 30-lap feature event.
Clinton Mills coming down right now. He's going to Loudon, hunting down through 1 and 2. Loudon out of Bath, Pennsylvania. That's where Ken White's first girlfriend, Bubbles, came from. Working down through 3 and 4. Loudon on the inside. Mills tried him on the outside that time. Thought better of it, backed out of it, but that second place dogfight is on.
Halfway down, halfway home to a checkered flag. 4 laps are in the books of this 8-lap consolation race. Here comes the Monster Mills up to the top side. So close to a victory less than 24 hours ago at the Accord Speedway, but it broke. Millsy now going to take over spot number 2 as they go side by side, wheel to wheel off at turn number 4.
Working a great line out of turn number 4. That's Clinton Mills on the wild slide of things. Grabs spot number 2 away from Billy Loudon Jr., the Cheap Thrill Bonds car, but that car is working so much better than it did in the qualifying attempt tonight. And I want to tell you something, LJ. You want to show how competitive those vintage cars are? That's the motor from the vintage car in Loudon Jr.'s mount tonight.
Of course, Billy Loudon, a body fabricator, CheapThrillBonds.com. Tell you what, did a great job on the old pure stock running up the Accord Speedway. While we were talking about Billy Loudon, Danny Creedon has now moved into a qualifying spot. He sits back there right behind Johnny Lito down the back straightaway. So DC, the bad boy himself, Danny Creedon, now in a qualified position. The white flag will fly this time by.
Opening night feature winner Daniel Creedon now going for the big dance again tonight. He's going to have to loop from the tail side of the field. Meanwhile, Donnie Elliott holds on to the number 1 spot. Clinton Mills second. Loudon driving a great groove back there in spot number 3. Cliff Airman rides the number 4 spot. Out of turn number 2, they ramble down the back straightaway.
Billy Loudon, an old asphalt modified driver, right now in a qualified position, but the checker flag will fly. It'll go to Donnie Elliott. 2nd spot, the Monster Mills. 3rd spot, Billy Loudon. 4th will be Cliff Airman, and 5th at the line, I do believe, is going to be Johnny Lito along with Danny Creedon.
Well, that was a great barn burner for a last chance qualifier. Again, Donnie Elliott was the winner. 2nd spot, Clinton Mills. Great drive. That guy has looked the best he's ever done here at the Orange County Speedway tonight. The big block beneath the power plant. That's the 1L, Billy Loudon Jr., followed by Cliff Airman. Johnny Lee.
Of course, the number 3 car, if everybody sees that, that is the old Eric Holmgren championship car from 2005. A very old car, but that car has seen a lot of laps here at the Speedway.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
And of course, that is the street stocks. Caution light has been turned out around the Speedway. Buck Morrow pulls that beautiful Chevy Camaro off the racing surface. Rows at 2. They come out of turn number 4. Street stock style here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. Emerson Cargain, David Van Sice. We're going to get the green flag as we go racing down into turn number 1.
To infinity and beyond.
Down in turn number 1, Van Sice may be in trouble. Everybody on the outside, Matt Burke, the gentleman racer, back there in spot number 2 right now with Charlie Donnell back in spot number 3. Keep an eye on the 28 machine. That's Carl Reed. The Metro Floors 28 car, he's up on the high side right now trying to get around the 86 of CJ Hertak. Cargate, he'll lead lap number 1. Matt Burke back in spot number 2. Johnny Dorr down to the inside a short way. He's going to move just outside the top 5 right now. Stephen Kammer, Bluetooth himself, sits back there in spot number 5. 6th spot right now is the 44 machine. That's the J&J Racing 44 car of Johnny Dorr. Dorr, a Beautiful looking race car. Well, used to be anyway. Seen a couple of battles here and there throughout the years here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. But right now up at the front of the field, it is the veteran Emerson Cargain Sr. looking for his 4th straight championship here at the Speedway. Matt Burke back there in spot number 2. The battle is on for spot number 3. Dave Van Sice and the Jalopy Jet Charlie Donald. Stephen Kammer back there in spot number 5. 6th right now is still John Doerr. 7th, Tommy Shortway. 8th right now is going to be Mike Jones. I do believe that is going to be the 12 cars. He works out of turn number 4. Jones right there in the 3 painting car. The 86 machine. That is CJ Hertak. And the battle is on for spot number 10. That's Harry Shortway. And Sling Blade himself, Carl Reed, doing battle for the top 10 spots right now. Matt Burke has reeled in your race leader, Emerson Cargain. I'll tell you what, those are 2 identical race cars right now, both with Eric Marin powered engines underneath the hood as they race down the back straightaway. Charlie Donald in the Jalopy Jet 32 machine. He sits back in spot number 3. Battle is on for that 10th position right now between Harry Shortway and Kenny Reed. Reed now up to the top side in the blue and orange 28 machine. That's the TJ Motorsports car. Rob Ryder about to go a lap down. Don't want to be up there. Yellow flag's going to fly. We got trouble over in turn number 4. Mike Jones facing the wrong way on a one-way street right now.
Now what was that all about?
Not really sure.
Oh!
So right
You've
now,
got troubles, Mac.
looks like the battle is going to pick up here very, very soon. Up for the number 1 spot, of course, Matt Burke, Emerson Cargain. Doing battle for that number 1 position. Charlie Donald back in spot number 3. Stephen Kammer sits 4th. And 5th right now is David Van Sice. Johnny Doerr right now sitting in spot number 6 right now. Tommy Shortway having himself a great run right now. Brand new car. That's the number 9 machine. Then, of course, it is CJ Hertak. Probably saying his name wrong, but that's all right. Driving the old Larry Sachs TJ Motorsports car number 86.
Neat, neat.
9th right now is Harry Shortway, and 10th, I do believe, is going to be Carl Reed in the Metro Floors 28 car. That's pretty much how he starts the car every week. Caution light has been turned out around the speedway. Here we come at a turn number 4. Back to green flag racing. Keep an eye on Carl Reed. He's way up to the top side. He threaded the needle on that restart as he got caught sleeping. Now the battle is on, and Burke now loses the number 2 spot. Maybe problems for the number 12 car. Here comes Stephen Kammer down to the inside. He'll do a battle, wash it up against the concrete wall, but he keeps it off. Cargain still your race leader up there in the number 1 spot. Charlie Donald, the Jalopy Jet right out of Middletown, New York. The ECS Auto 32 machine has moved into the runner-up position. Of course, that's where he finished opening night. Matt Burke now sits 3rd, Kammer 4th. Dave Van Sice sits back there in spot number 5. Matt Burke testing the waters up on the top side. It's not going to work for him as Kammer now moves in spot number 3. Van Sice rounds out the top 5. John Doerr is 6th. CJ Hertak sits 7th. Tom Shortway is 8th, and 9th right now is Kenny Reed. Reed started way back in spot number 13. Nobody really stepping out of line that time by. Here comes Kammer now down to the inside. Going to put the pressure on Charlie Donald. And the no power steering having Jalopy Jet 32 machine. Charlie feels the pressure, steps on the right pedal. We're about to get the halfway sign right now. Halfway down, halfway home. Kammer in the old Tim McCarthy 55 car. Sits back in spot number 3. Still looking for career win number 1 here at the Speedway. But he's going to have to try and wrestle in spot number 2 right now away from Charlie Donald. Matt Burke still sits back in spot number 4. And 5th is David Van Sice. John Doerr 6th. CJ Hertak is 7th. 8th is Tommy Shortway. 9th is Kenny Reed. And now 10th will be Mike Jones. Here comes Camber now down to the inside of Charlie Donald. Going to try and throw it in. Camber's got a run on Donald. They'll make a little bit of contact over there in turn number 2. Camber settles right back in behind the 32 machine.
Sorry.
It's okay. I don't think Charlie noticed it. So we stay clean and green this time by 5 laps to go. It's the Hi, How Are You lap. 5 to go right now. We stay single file Talladega style down in turn number 1. Camber down to the inside again, putting the pressure on Donald. He may have the run this time, and Camber gets a little squirrely off at turn number 2. That's going to allow Matt Burke to try and reel him in down there in turn number 3. Burke now up to the top side. 3 cars battle for that number 2 spot as Emerson Cargain Sr. out in his own zip code right now, up there in the number 1 position. Lap traffic may definitely become a part of this feature event right now down the back straightaway. Cargain looking to thread the needle down in turn number 3. He does so. Makes it through the 19 machine. He is your race leader. Now here comes the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Charlie Donald, he's going to get the door shut on him. He moves a couple of lap cars over. Of course, that's the 3 machine of Rob Reiter. He gets pushed up to the outside. Donald now still sitting in the number 2 spot. Problems for Mike Jones over in turn number 2. Donald back there in spot number 2 right now. Cargain out in no man's land. He's up there in the number 1 spot. Looks as if he's got this one all wrapped up. 2 to go sign, I do believe, will be coming out. Yes, we're going to throw the popsicle sticks at Emerson Cargain Sr. 2 to go. Charlie Donald still 2nd. Camber sits back there in spot number 3. And now some smoke starting to come out of the back of the 12 car. That is Matt Burke. Van Sice sits back in spot number 5. Shortway is 6th. Nope, that would be Johnny Doerr in 6th. CJ Hertak now on the outside. He's looking for spot number 6 from Johnny Doerr. Here they come down the front straightaway. White flag will fly, and Cargain's in trouble. Smoke now pouring out of the 19 machine. It's going to get crazy down the back straightaway. Keep an eye on your top 5 cars. Anybody can win this one. Cargain trying to hang on to it. Checker flag set to fly. Here he comes down in turn number 3. Matt Burke up to the outside. Charlie Donald down to the inside. Camber, here comes Van Sice. 4 wide off at turn number 4. The win's going to go to Cargain. 2nd spot will be Charlie Donald. 3rd, Stephen Camber. 4th, Matt Burke. And rounding out the top 5, Dave Van Sice. And a big giant puff of smoke out of the right front of Emerson Cargain Sr. But he hangs on to it and gets his first win here in the 2011 season.
Yippee!
He's coming from where? Well, why? Rain like that?
Dirt Car Sportsman feature set to take to the playing surface right now. 12th row, 24th starting spot. The 69K car is going to be Ken Boniface Jr. off to his left.
Single feature win, but it's at the Accord Speedway. That's Matt Hitchcock. On the inside of him, in spot number 9, the 17J of Matt Janiak.
4th row, 8th spot, the 42 car Timmy Paul. Off to his left, the 117 Richie Eggers.
Starting in spot number 6 in the 21 car, that's Frank Doty. On the inside of Frank Doty in car number 5, that's the 27R. That is Andrew Reeves.
2nd row, spot 4, 44 car Brian Crummel. To his left, the 2X of Steady, Eddie Burgess.
And your front row for the 20 lap Sportsman, Dirt Car Sportsman feature event on the outside pole, the M1 of Jimmy Marr. On the pole, the 6L of John Lodini.
That's where we're going racing right now. This 20-lap Dirt Car Sportsman feature brought to us by Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Centers and, of course, Middletown Autowreckers. Here we come on a turn number 4. Green flag flies. The 20-lap Dirt Car Sportsman feature is now underway.
Taking all bets right now. Going to see if we can get one lap in the books. Lodini washes up. Here comes BK Speed. Brian Crummell from spot number 4. He'll quickly take over the number 1 spot down the back straightaway. He is your defending track champion here in the Dirt Car Sportsman division. They work off at turn number 4.
Crummell wasting absolutely no time at all. In less than 1/2 a lap, grabbed the number 1 spot away from starting the outside of row number 2. Lodini second. Marr now running in spot number 3, the pink fiberglass car. Then here comes Edward Burgess on the inside, spot number 2.
Keep an eye on that 42 machine of Timmy Paul out there in no man's land. They all get together. Piazza's in there, along with Gary Edwards Jr. We stay clean and green. They're 3 wide, 4 wide down in turn number 3.
Any wider, they'll be stacking up too high. Working on a turn number 4 this time. Still back there by himself, the number 5 spot, Andrew Reeves. Then the Hurricane to the inside. Change of Blanca taking over spot number 6. Wants to make a break into the top 5 family portrait. He's back there aboard the number 44X car, closing the gap on Andy Reeves.
Keep an eye on Matt Hitchcock. He started way back in spot number 10. He's already moved up about 3 or 4 positions as he gets around the 117 at Eggers. They work nose to tail down the front straightaway off at turn number 4. Hitchcock now going to try and reel in the 21 car, Frank Doty.
Doty back there in spot number 7, Hitchcock. Matt Hitchcock, good evening for Matt Hitchcock out of Stony Point, New York. Works his way down to the inside on Doty in the 21 car, side by side, and lots of racing action brewing right there in the tail.
Up in the number 1 spot in the Superior Remodeling 44 car, that is BK Speed, Brian Crummell. John Lodini, a former CRSA 305 sprint car driver, back in spot number 2. I believe that is going to be the number 1 car. I'm not really sure what number it is. I guess I need some glasses, but the M1, that is Jimmy Marr sitting back there in spot number 3. Thank you, Tim.
You're quite welcome. Meanwhile, way out in the number 1 spot continues to be the 44 car. Brian Crummell. Johnny Lodini working some magic. That's Houdini himself back there in the number 2 spot. Marr third. Eddie Burgess of the DNA Concrete car back in spot number 4. The Hurricane has set down in the number 5 spot. Reeves is 6th. Hitchcock right there in spot number 7.
Odendahl, big problems down here in turn number 1. Going to try and get that South Electric number 9 car off the racing surface. Don't think it's going to happen. We're going to see the yellow light.
Houston, we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
Yellow lights on the speedway after just 6 laps of competition in this 20-lap feature event shootout. Tyler Odendahl, I do believe, is the car that has dropped off the pace. Could not get back behind pit wall safely under his own power.
So basically from the drop of the green flag, about halfway down the back straightaway was Brian Crummell. Took over the number 1 spot, started in spot number 4. He has pretty much led the way. John Lodini sitting back there in spot number 2 right now. Third, having himself a great run here. That's the M1. That is Jimmy Marr. Jimmy, a single feature winner here at the Orange County Fair Speedway, but it was in the pure stock division. Eddie Burgess sitting in spot number 4. In 5th right now, the Hurricane Change of Blanca. And 6th is the 33H car of Matt Hitchcock.
Matt Janiak follows behind the 17 car. Then off to his right is Andy Reeves in that red number 27. Frankie Venezia, the second number 27 car, right behind Janiak. So a pair of 27s just a row apart from each other. Not even related to each other. Same number, different color, different driver, different state, everything.
They just like the same number, Tim.
Well, that happens.
Yes. Either that or there was 2 27s in the hat and they both pulled it.
Don't forget, 2 Saturday nights from now, this is something you might want to get in on here, LJ. Jumpin' Jake's, of course, going to have that big bouncy house back in the backstretch drive-in for the kids, and they're going to be jumping with their favorite drivers during intermission as they've put their names in the hats, and they're going to draw a couple of drivers' names out of the hats. They're going to throw them in the bouncy house as well. Oh, baby.
Well, definitely want to thank them guys for the support there at the Middletown Motorsports Show. But we're back to green flag racing as they work off at turn number 4. Brian Crummell back up to the number 1 spot. We're 3-4 wide down the front straightaway. Everybody looking for position.
Top three sort themselves out very quickly, but boy, it's anybody's shot from there. Here comes Shane Jablanka. Jablanka touches down the 44S car, puts himself in a spot number 4. More back to spot 5. Problems down yonder in turn 2. He's moving away, though. He's heading in his own power. That's Tyler McKee.
We stay clean and green down the front straightaway right now. In trouble off at turn number 4. We got one around. That's going to be Jimmy Spellman. The Mike Sparta Trucking, car number 28.
Hey, how you doing?
It's probably not what they're saying to each other at this point. Yellow lights back on the speedway. 7 laps have been scored.
Scooby-Doo, where are you?
See if we can get a replay on that from Racing Video's little big screen. Quite sure if Tommy Zabin was on that or not, as there was a whole lot to be capturing at that point in the action. Oh, baby, here we go. We got a replay on the little big screen to see where all that may have transpired. Of course, ended in perspired. Better than being expired. Well. You know, by the time we captured it, Spellman was already sideways, as most of that took place towards the tail side of the field, so can't blame Tommy on that one.
No, you cannot. And if you do like what you see and you want to take it home with you for those 6 long winter months, stop over there. See the bald-headed eagle over there in the Eagle's Nest. That's Tommy Zaban, racingvideos.com. Wave your hand there, Tommy. There you go. Well, we've doubled them up. We are going to go back to green flag racing. 7 laps are in the books of this 20-lap Sportsman feature event that has been all in the hands of BK Speed, Brian Crummell, John Lodini, Eddie Burgess, Shane Jablanka, Matt Janiak. That's your top 5.
I'll be back.
Caution lights getting turned out. 7 laps old is this 20-lap feature event shootout. It's what they've worked for all night long here at the Speedway, the big race for this dirt car sportsman division. Here we come, on a turn number 4, green flag flies. We go back. The green flag racing action, Crummell back into command, and Nick Lodini second. Top 5 guys locked in, but boy, 3 wide out of turn number 2. And watch, Pepperoni Piazza thread the needle down the back straightaway. He's making some tracks up through the pack.
Still up at the front of the field, though, is Brian Crummell. Problems for Tyler McKee. He'll retire early here tonight in this 20-lap Sportsman feature event. Crummell, about a 20-car length lead right now over the former sprint car driver of Lodini. Shane Jablanka down to the inside, feeling a little racy off at turn number 2.
Jablanka working well, working down the back straightaway right now, trying to close the gap on Johnny Lodini in the 6L car. Second place battle may be taking shape very, very quickly as they work out of turn number 4. We know one thing, Brian Crummell certainly has got his hand on the field here tonight with about a 24.5 car length gap on the field. Lodini second, Jablanka third. Burgess, Venezia, and now Piazza. Here comes Sensational Sammy.
Piazza down to the inside, basement dwelling off at turn number 2, down the back straightaway. Matt Hitchcock following suit with Matt Janiak and along with Gary Edwards Jr. Crummell again going to lead lap number 10. That's halfway home right now for BK Speed down at turn number 1.
Well, 50% of the way home to the checkered flag. Lodini second. Lodini can hear some footprints in the hallway. It is the 44 car of Shane Jablanka. Jablanka runs back there in the number 3 spot. Venezia 4th. Piazza is 5th. Then Hitchcock rides back in spot number 6. Matty Janiak back in spot 7. Works out of turn number 4 this time. Crummell almost a straightaway lead on the field right now, but second place may be brewing. Lodini has it. Houdini works some magic back there in the number 2 spot. And Jablanka doing everything he has to try and close that gap and make it a second place dogfight at the altar.
Crummell is not a lap car. That is your race leader. He's that far ahead down the front straightaway. 2-time feature winner in 2010 along with a track championship. Hope to make it 2 in a row here for 2011 right now as he is in his own zip code down the back straightaway. Lodini second. DeBlanca is third. Frank Venezia sits back there in spot number 4. And here comes the Italian stallion, the SPLI Landscaping 29 car, Sammy Piazza.
Piazza works well back there in the number 5 spot right now. Had a lot of horsepower. Garnered his way up through the pack from the 14th starting spot. Now rides back there in spot number 5. Hitchcock is 6th. Janiak is 7th. Edwards, opening night feature winner, rides back there in spot number 8. Then Burgess is 9th. And Jimmy Marr rounds out the top 10.
The Viking Eric Holmgren sitting back in spot number 11 right now with the quarter horse, Stevie Pinto. He is yet to put that car on the concrete here in 2011. That's a big step up for him. The Rock Fantasy 166 car. 5 to go right now. Coming up on 5 to go for Brian Crummell.
Quickly, time winding down. Cromwell keeping his hand at bay right now. Down the back straightaway with a great lead. Piazza down to the inside. Piazza makes a break for the number 4 spot.
Trouble! Oh, they're going to stack them up down there in turn number 3. It looked like Piazza got around into the turn a little bit, and they're still crashing over in turn number 3.
Well, that was just plain ugly. And we can't wait for the replay on that deal to see where all that ugliness first transpired.
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me in.
Oh, man.
Yellow lights on the speedway. Matter of fact, the red lights will come on. Track is virtually blocked down there. Let's see if we can get a close-up on what happened while Tommy Zabin rewinds the tape and lets us know just exactly where it all began. We saw going down the backstretch. Jablanca, of course, was running in the number 2 spot. Then here comes Venezia and Piazza, and it just looked like they sort of came together, but not really made a hard contact with each other. Piazza backed out of it, but that's when the center of gravity broke on that car, and he just started going sideways. I'll let you give the offer on that.
I'm definitely going to say Piazza drove it in just a little bit hard, kind of lost the handle of it. There we see right down to the inside of Frank Venezia. Piazza looked as if maybe he was trying to muscle his way in. He'll make a little bit of wheel contact, and that was just enough, I think, to turn the 29 car around. I'd call that a racing incident, but I only get paid to talk on the mic.
After intermission.
Yes.
You know, there's just that point of no return, and you're on that threshold. You know you can give it just a little bit more in the big burp spot, and guess what? It's ugliness.
Sometimes you got that wheel turned a little bit too far to the right.
Even at the stoplight. $50-50 tonight is worth $680. They've just come out of the vault, and we're going to have somebody draw the ticket and give that to us momentarily, or momentarily, depending on what section of New York you come from. But we know it's worth $680.
In a minute.
Right, yeah, that too.
That's what they say up in northern PA, in a minute.
In a minute. We'll let you know what that number is as soon as it's passed along to us. Yeah, 2 numbers tonight. The second one's good for a big pizza pie from Papa John's of Middletown. Okay, the first one for $680. Ladies and gentlemen, 50-50 tonight. It's a red ticket. Oh, man. Okay, for $680, 375-580. 375-580. It's worth $680. Now, the second number is a slightly orangish ticket. That's good for the larger pizza pie from Papa John's. And that is number 791739. 791739. You and 7 of your friends can enjoy dinner courtesy of Papa John's Pizza. So again, $680, a red ticket 375-580. If you have it, knock on the door at the t-shirt booth. And a lady will answer the door. And if you have the number, she'll give you your prize. If you don't have the number, don't knock on the door. Yeah.
Well, word from Mission Control, all drivers are okay down there in the incident with turns 3 and 4. Everybody got out of that incident A-okay. So right now we are going to reset the field, get back underway here. I do believe we have about 5 laps to go right now, where it's been in the hands of the Middletown native, Brian Crummell, defending track champion. Second spot is John Lodini. Third is Shane Jablanca. Fourth is the 27th car of Frank Venezia. And sitting in spot number 5 right now will be Matt Hitchcock. Demolition Derby. I believe that is part of the Saft Electric Demolition Derby series for the 4 cylinders. Carl Reed's theme song. This, of course, is the song that was played at my stepmother's rehabilitation graduation. One of her favorites.
You always gotta go there, don't you? Then I get myself in trouble because she thinks I put you up to it.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna blame that on you too. I don't have any hair to cover up the bruises when I get whacked in the head.
Okay, I'm 2 hours away from here. I'll be home by the time she catches me. Only 15 more seconds of this. Whew, finally. So, track clear once again. We'll get the indication that we'll get the green flag lap next time around. Hey, LJ, you got Ken White's theme song.
It's 260 for my shirt. 260 for my shirt.
Should say suspenders, no? Okay.
If you go to karaoke at OCFS.com there, Tim, you'll get to see myself karaokeing that song at the Middletown Motorsports Show.
Huh. Hey, 50-50 number again. It was a red ticket, 375-580. 375-580, red ticket, $680 and a whole lot more friends than he came to the racetrack with tonight. Oh, baby, here we go!
We are back to green flag racing, and it's we're going to get the yellow lights.
Maybe not. Yellow, yellow, yellow on the speedway. Jessica McCombs. You are the winner. $680. You are the winner of the 50-50 tonight. Congratulations to Jessica. See, it only takes $1 to be in it and $1 to win it. Still.
He's still in trouble down over in between turns 3 and 4. He's got to go in the right direction right now. Brian Crummell. Still up there in the number 1 spot. John Lodini back in spot number 2. Of course, Lodini started on the outside pole. Actually, I stand corrected. He started on the pole. Shane Jablonka sits 3rd. Frank Venezia is 4th. 5th right now is Matt Hitchcock. 6th is Eddie Burgess. 7th, I do believe that is going to be Frank Doty. 9th is Jimmy Spellman. And 10th is going to be the 69 of Kenny Boniface Jr. Here we come at a turn number 4, back to Green Flag Racing. Brian Crummell trying to put another win in the books for the 44 machine car. He'll lead the way down in turn number 1.
Second place, it's getting all babyish right now. Lodini has it, but he's got the Hurricane touching down right there in his shadows. Shane Jablonka. And Jablonka winds it up like a rubber band down the back straightaway right now. Jablonka looks down to the inside. He's got Venezia looking over his shoulders as well. Venezia aboard the 27 car, not letting him out of his sights. Remember, he started back in the 12th position. He now runs in spot number 4. Matt Hitchcock, the 33 car. He's working well back there in the top 5. Started 10th in the field. Down the back straightaway. Nobody steps on the line. It's still Brian Crummell at the head of the class.
If anybody were to get a hard charger award, it would definitely go to Ken Boniface Jr. Started in spot number 24. He's moved up to the 7th position in just 17 laps, but we got about 3 laps to go right now. The Ripper, Kenny Boniface Jr. now up to spot number 7, but it's still Brian Crummell up at the front of the field. Lodini still sitting in spot number 2.
Meanwhile, Jimmy Spellman works back there aboard the 28 car, runs back in the slot number 6. Oh, that could have been almost ugly. Did you see that, LJ?
I missed it. 2 to go right now for Brian Crummell down in turn number 1. The popsicle sticks her out. That's the white flag and the checkered. That means 2 to go. Crummell 2 short laps away from another victory here at the Orange County Fair Speedway.
Crummell's got victory lane on the GPS system here tonight. He is working well on a turn number 4 right now. White flag comes up to fly this time. Knows he's only got 4 more flicks to the wrist to visit victory lane.
Crummell looking for win number 1 here in 2011. Lodini back in spot number 2, having himself a great run at former 305 sprinter. Here comes Frank Venezia down to the inside of Shane Jablonka. Look at him, a little bump draft down the back straightaway. Checker flag set to fly. BK Speed. Brian Crummell works off at turn number 4.
And he hears you have arrived in victory lane. Brian Crummell, the winner of tonight's 20-lap Dirt Car Sportsman feature. Johnny Lodini will be 2nd. Wow, Venezia right there in 3rd. Shane Jablonka was 4th, and then Matt Hitchcock rounds out the top 5.
Well, that'll do it for the 20-lap Dirt Car Sportsman feature event. Of course, we will talk to Brian Crummell down at victory lane in just a little bit. Next out onto the racing surface, of course, your big block modified
Send-off here in the grandstand. Hats, hands, handkerchiefs, hot dogs, hamburgers, racing, pizza, whatever you got, let's wave at them as they go by and wish them well on 30 laps of big block modified feature excitement. Hey, backstretch driving, it's your chance to shine. Honk the horns, flash the lights. You got some 4-ways, you got some big blue bubbles on the top of those cars. Let these guys know you love what they do every Saturday night here at the Orange County Speedway. The backstretch driving, where the world's biggest tailgate party runs all night long. It don't end at kickoff on the old football stadium. Oh, baby, no. It goes right up to the final checkered flag. Flash to all. You look so darn good from over here. We wish you could see yourselves. And the drivers see you as well. They like what you do as well for them. And, of course, they like your gesture as well, setting them off on 30 laps of big block feature excitement brought to us by Jumpin' Jake's Children's Entertainment Centers and the Middletown Autowrecker Foundation. Here we come, down through turns number 3 and 4. Johnny Lito on the inside, Billy Wilson on the outside. Here we come, turn number 4, green flag flies. We go racing!
And the drag race is on down at turn number 1. Lito, he'll quickly take over the number 1 spot, and now they're 3 wide for spot number 2. but it's going to be Billy Wilson in the 7X1 with the Razor. Mike Ruggiero back in spot number 3.
Ruggiero rides back there aboard the 53 entry. He's got the banger bullet right down to the inside to deal with right now. Bruce Klein takes the Klein's auto repair into the number 4 slot, but it's all the judge, Johnny Lito, in the number 1 position.
Up against the wall right now. Gary Tompkins in trouble. Meyer in trouble. Oh, this is not good. Meyer is moving around. The steering wheel just came off. Jackie Brown Jr., Danny Creedon, and I do believe that's going to be Donnie Wilson as well. But Meyer, Tim, wow.
Yeah, it all started right around Meyer's running spot, and he got bounced around like a ping pong ball down the straightaway. Red lights are on because the track is virtually blocked. Plus, we want to give the safety crew all the room that they need to get these cars apart and check on the drivers. The crews pull up to Meyer's car. Well, we see Donnie Wilson climbing from the mount right now in the Armbruster Racing Photos 4B car. He's out of the car.
Well, watching the instant replay right now, looked like Gary Tompkins bounced it off the concrete wall, and everybody else just trying to avoid the incident.
There's Tommy Meyer climbing from the mount right now. Meyer's all right. He's out of the car.
Danny Creedon also out of the car as well.
Well, with so many cars on the track and it happening so deep in the heart of that big block modified field, kind of hard to pick out exactly where it all transpired, but you're right, LJ. It looked like Gary Tompkins had come into contact with the concrete early on, and that sent shock waves through the field. Some drivers just feeling the brunt of those tremors.
I'll tell you, watch the replay right now. Billy Loudon almost putting that 1L car on its roof. He kind of caught the tail end of that incident right there, of course, with Donnie Wilson. So Billy Loudon caught a piece of it. Not sure if he stayed out on the racing surface or he's taking that 1L machine back there. There we see Tompkins getting out of shape. And looks as, yeah, there's Loudon right there.
We mentioned earlier, of course, sending get the heck out of the hospital soon wishes to Billy Loudon Sr. Went in this morning. Had some pain last couple days and got him in there right now and checking the old carburetor, making sure the jets and the power valves are all working okay. So said he's feeling all right, but well, until the doctor signs that almighty paper, he ain't going nowhere. He's stuck with some hospital food until then.
Might as well enjoy the green jello. I'll tell you what, though, if the body work that Billy Loudon does, beautiful body work. Also, he's a fabricator, I do believe, by trade. I could be wrong, but
You're correct.
I'll tell you what, just a wild ride and a very scary moment right here on the front straightaway. But it looks as if all drivers have walked away from this incident, and very good to see that. And of course, there's our very own Russ Meyer now making his way now across the speedway. He's going to go down to make sure everybody's a-okay.
Of course, he's the pilot of the Lugnut Express. Helped out tonight during intermission, brought the young race fans into the pit area for a quick tour through the pits from the backstretch drive-in, the Hard Clay Kids Club tour bus, the Lugnut Express, piloted by your bus driver, Mr. Russ Meyer. Don't forget racinvideos.com, R-A-C-I-N, slang for racing. Yes, if you want to be politically incorrect. Racinvideo.com, they captured all of that, put it in your VCR, and you can do the slow-mo, and you can see exactly where it all started. DVDs available from opening night here at the Orange County Speedway. Just stop down at the t-shirt booth, I do believe, and they'll help you out. Did I mention still waiting for mine? I think I did. Okay.
Are you still waiting for yours from opening night? So am I. Yeah.
Okay.
That's all right. Gary Tompkins now moving back out onto the speedway in the 673 Mike Sparta trucking car. Of course, that's a very famous number here at the Orange County Fair Speedway, and of course, I'm sure Timmy's got a whole list of knowledge on that 673 machine.
Well, you talk about some history there. Championships in that car. Of course, Jeff Hetzler Sr. had a long time running stay in that. A number always, though, made synonymous in racing by the Tewitt family. Now, Tewitt's, there's a name that's been around the Speedway. Remember Jim Tewitt Sr., of course, before he retired, he ran full fender cars here for so many years. Then Jim Tewitt Jr., the patriarch now, that racing entourage that we see out here every Saturday night. Jim and Debbie bring that car to the Speedway, spit shine, ready to roll every Saturday night. They do a great job in racing. You're right, John Snyder. Jim Tewitt Sr. has moved south to warmer terrain. South Carolina. Jim Tewitt Jr. maintains the race shop up here along with Debbie, and they've had a
Two by two down into turn number one. Looks as if we are possibly going to go back to green flag racing. Tommy, oh, Meyer in trouble.
Wow, something broke on that car all of a sudden. Probably a tie rod snap coming down, Heim joint. A little $4 part means a lot, though.
Yeah.
It definitely snapped because that just took that wheel right out of his hand.
Well, that'll teach you for standing on the fence.
Yeah, he can't turn the wheel right either, so. Something on the steering componentry has gone awry. Not on top of all the other bent parts the poor car has on it. But he's calling for assistance right now, so Tommy Meyer is in trouble. Thought he had everything back in the right perspective and headed down the short chute. Hey, better it happen there under caution speed than take the green flag and find out it happens when he's coming down the straightaway, because that could have been just as ugly as before, so.
Got to give him a big E for effort, though, on that one. Of course, a former track champion in the 358 modifieds along with the modifieds. And I do believe Tommy Meyer is one of the very few who has won a championship in pretty much every division that he's been in. 5 championships. Thank you, Mr. Utter. So pretty much whenever you put him behind the wheel, he's eventually going to pull off a championship. Well, to me, by the looks of things, looks like you may have found Little Chief's favorite song.
Either that or he's got to go to the bathroom.
Well, you know, when nature calls.
Get the indication this time by, going back to green flag racing excitement next time by. This event is just 1 lap young. Means 29 more remain just after it. So a whole lot more excitement, a boatload of excitement still before us. And then, of course, once this is all over, the 4-cylinder Demolition Derby, or as we call it, the 4-cycle Demolition Derby, to wrap things up here on the second night of the 2011 racing season.
Here we come at a turn number 4 back. Green flag racing in the restart zone. As the 33 machine, I believe that is Johnny Lito up there in the number 1 spot right now. Billy Wilson back in spot number 2. Keep an eye on the Razor. Mike Ruggiero in spot number 3. And we got trouble. Craig Mitchell, all kinds of out of shape. He almost collected Richie Yerk down the back straightaway.
Well, they're all going in the right direction right now, down through turns number 3 and 4. We'll put lap number 2 up in lights as they ramble down the home straightaway this time. Lito in command of it. Wilson second, Ruggiero third, Burrell is fourth. Van Inwingen, boy, there's a guy with a boatload of horsepower tonight. Pulls up into the top 5 position right now as they work on a turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Here comes the bullfrog himself, Jerome Markle from Port Jervis, New York, in the Lennon Joe's Pizza Shop 79 machine.
Keep an eye on turns 3 and 4 right now. Everybody getting bottled up. As the bottom side really starting to come in nicely here in this 30-lap feature event. As contact between big brother Bobby McGannon and the monster Clinton Mills. Markle up to the top side. Now going to try and reel in the other Lennon Joe's 23 machine of Billy Van Inwingen. But still, up at the front of the field, it is the judge, Johnny Lito.
Well, if you don't like your doggy and you want to bet the dog license on something, you might want to keep your eye on the Monticello Hot Shoe. That's Timmy Heinley, the Tornado, as that guy's making tracks up to the back very, very quickly.
Heinley bounced it off the concrete wall over in turn number 4, and he kept it going in the right direction. Ehrman, a little bit of push there on the 32 car. He keeps it going in the right forward motion as well. Johnny Lito, still your race leader down in turn number 1.
Lito in command of the drive right now at 8.5 car length gap, make it 9.5. Do we hear 10? We got 10 car lengths to gap on Lito down the back straightaway. The legendary Billy Wilson rambles on in the number 2 spot. Yellow, 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 yellow. Down yonder in turn number 2. 1 car sitting awry. It is Timmy Heinley. You know, he was going through the pack like a bull through a china closet, making some great strides. Twice glanced off the masonry, and now it bit him back. Well, yellow lights on the field. 5 laps old is this event. 1/6 the way home to a checkered flag. And yellow lights on for Timmy Heinley out of Monticello, New York in the 1H car. A guy that's had countless feature event wins over his career. Very colorful driver, like his style.
So Heinley picked up even a win up at the Moody Mile there, Syracuse, in a Dirt Sportsman car. I do believe that was a little over 4 or 5 years ago, and went back to big block modified racing. Well, apparently he likes what he feels. Heinley just kind of lost the handle of it down in turn number 1 all by his lonesome. Might have hit the oil spot there from the Kenny Reed car.
Was that castor oil?
Maybe hair oil.
Okay. Next Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen, RGH Construction Company bringing to town the first CRSA Sprint Car Show for the 2011 racing season. Big block modifieds, dirt car sportsmen, pro stocks, straight stocks, and the 305 Sprint Cars. Next Saturday night here at the Orange County Speedway.
Well, they're going to take a quick look at the Bullfrog 79 machine. Apparently they see something on there that they don't like.
It's the lily pad.
Yeah. Maybe. Looks as if maybe the lily pad may be starting to turn a little brown.
I'm looking at a quick look-see over, see if something's be dragging or not. It's too bad we don't have one of those lifts out here now. Let's put over the lift real quick. Apparently he has been given the option. We listen to mission control up here. Radius rod may be dragging, but it's dragging off the backside, so it doesn't pose a threat. Front side, it's a naughty no-no. Backside's okay.
So Jeremy going to wait right here on the front straightaway. No sense in burning up any extra fuel if you don't have to.
He'd save himself about $6 worth of fuel on that line.
Yes, sir.
Not quite sure what it's up to right now, but...
Well, right now, if you're running pump gas, 93 octane, which is what the crate motors are running, you're looking at about $4.50 a gallon. But as soon as the fuel rule kicks in here at the Speedway, you're going to be looking at about $5 a gallon. Caution light has been turned out around the Speedway. 5 laps are in the books, 25 laps to go. Here we come at turn number 4, back to green flag racing, and Lito, he'll lead him off at turn number 4. Billy Wilson back in spot number 2, but here comes the Razor, and we got trouble on the front stretch.
Oh, this
Not
is
good.
ugly. You know, it could have been a whole lot uglier. Luckily, Urich left off the brake and left himself drift backwards, because Clinton Mills was right in a position to really drop kick him head on, and he backed out of it with actually minimal contact. But it still was anything but pretty, no two ways about it. Yellow lights back on the Speedway.
Well, we're watching the instant replay again here by Tommy Zaban. And it looked like Chris Whitehead got into Jeremy Markle. And of course, we all know how that happens, or how that works. It's a chain reaction right after that. There's Whitehead down to the inside.
Okay, on the little big screen again, brought to us by RacingVideos.com. It appeared that Whitehead's car drifted way up the banking on a turn number 4, and that caused major chain reactionage through the pack. Markle almost got squeezed. I mean, sparks were flying. He was literally squeezed like a pimple against the concrete. Everybody behind him started trying to take evasive action. 4 wide down the straightaway with Dodd and Little Jeffer and Bruce Klein and Markle. They all sorted themselves out, but of course we mentioned earlier, those are like shock waves. They go through the pack. Everybody behind them starts grabbing on the brakes and heading in every which direction to try and do evasive action. By that time, it had Jackie Brown and Urich pinched together backwards going down the straightaway, and Clinton Mills tried to get up on the outside thinking that the lane might open up. It never opened up.
So Millsy winds up head on into the legendary Richie Urich. And again, a second night in a row right now. Mills in trouble. He will go on the business end of the tow truck. Of course, led many laps last night at the Accord Speedway, and something broke in the rear of that car, and unfortunately wound up on the tow truck. And there's Millsy again. Problems again, 2 nights in a row.
Can you remember, LJ, a couple of seasons back when he began his first career year here at the Orange County Speedway in an open-wheel car, was one of the hottest drivers ever at 16 years of age to start in an open-wheel modified here at the Speedway and do so darn well. And it's been nothing but greatness ever since.
Well, I'll tell you, he took an old chassis and he made good with it. So you put that kid in a good car, and look at what he's done. Of course, last year, Eastern States 200 came out of nowhere. Started, I do believe, somewhere in the 30s and wound up finishing second to a very skilled driver. Of course, that being Tim McCready. So Clinton Mills, still a lot of great racing ahead of that young man, just not tonight.
Well, the game is all about both talent and luck. He had the talent tonight, just didn't quite have the luck.
No, sir. It's the Country Chevrolet Camaro. Now pulls off the racing surface as we get set to go back underway here in this amateur pure stock feature event. Here we come at turn number 4, back to Green Flag Racing.
Working on turn number 4 this time. Green flags fly again down the home straightaway. Craig Mitchell may be in trouble. Mike Storms goes down to the inside aboard the 10S car. Now they work down the back straightaway. It is Lido back in command of things. Billy Wilson second. Ruggiero third in the field as they scramble down through turns number 3 and 4.
Billy Van Inwagen, and we got somebody, a smoker, killing mosquitoes off at turn number 4, and I do believe that's going to be Jeremy Markle. Markle now starting to have problems with the Lennon Joe's number 79 car. Chris Whitehead, he's going to get a face shield full of smoke down off at turn number 2, and here comes the Statesman Jerry Higbee, and Markle now off the pace, in trouble down the back straightaway. This is not good.
Well, you know, Markle was out of harm's way, shut the car down, was pit bound, and everybody behind him just bailed in. Markle smoking out of turn 2, felt something go awry in the componentry, dropped slowly down to the inside. Everybody was by him, but then the pack came up upon him and just didn't realize that he was pit bound.
Jackie Brown again in trouble. Looks as if something maybe broke underneath the right rear of the 6X car right now down the back straightaway. Another incident. Jackie Brown has been in, and there's Markle down the back straightaway, and just a case of, well, actually, Hollywood Craig Mitchell did not let off. Little Jeffer did, and that just makes for a bad situation.
Keep in mind, Matt Janiak also tried to put the binders on to get around Markle's car. Didn't realize that he was heading for the pits. When he put the binders on, he kind of got drop kicked also from the tail side by the 93 car. It all starts on the replay right about now. It's Little Jeffer. Little Jeffer got drop kicked and punted up out of the way by the 93 car. That sent Little Jeffer sideways, and Hollywood tried to take evasive action by shortcutting down to the inside of pit-bound Markle. Everybody behind him was then sideways, including the 673 at Tompkins. Little Jeffer's just trying to hang on for dear life and straighten things back out. A lot of cars spinning sideways to avoid contact as well.
Well, that's the first thing as a driver that you want to do. First thing you think of is save the motor.
First thing I always think of is I don't want to rearrange the cow patches. So a lot of bent machinery being pulled apart down there in the backstretch. We see the 673 car, Gary Tompkins, the Sparta Trucking sponsor mount. He gets taken away from the scene right now. Many of the cars await assistance.
Little Jeffer also down in the pit area right now. He was on the wrong end of the incident down there in turn number 3 right now, so he is down in the pit area. Tough break for little Jeff Hitzler Jr. Of course, there is Gary Tompkins heading down the wrong way over there in turn number 2. Still got a few more cars, I guess, to clean up over in turn number 3.
Saw Timmy Hindley also go pit bound at that time. Snuck back in there around the yellow lights and went behind pit wall, so problems aboard the 1H car as well. Well, keep in mind, New York State fire laws prohibit smoking in the grandstands. No smoking in the grandstands. If you need to light up, please step out behind the full cover grandstand area. And that's the New York State fire law, so that's serious stuff. If you're caught smoking, you had better be on fire, or we'll send our flight attendant, Ken White, through the aisles to make sure that nobody's smoking.
life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The chores,
The stores,
fresh air.
Times Square.
You are my wife.
Goodbye, city life.
Green Acres, we are there.
So that song there being requested by Kyle Rigney. He said, please play that for my mom. I don't know when her birthday, well, actually, I think it was for Mother's Day. So that goes out to Kyle Rigney and Beth Rigney. The Rigneys.
Well, you can't keep a good man down. Tommy Meyer, the Barry's Lawn Service car, they had some time to do some wrenching on that mount. And if anything, of course, it'll give them a chance to bring it back out to the playing surface and do a little R&D to make sure everything is back in the right formation. Clinton Mills, we also hear, is rumbling through the pit area. Craig Mitchell comes back out onto the playing surface.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm drunk to finish, 'cause I eat me spinach. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm one of gazookas, which hates all palookas, what hates honey up and swear. Why biffs and I boss 'em and always
Our little Jeffer also powers back up the J17 car. We thought that car was a lot worse for the wear than obviously what it was.
Billy Van Iwigen, the Lena Jones 23 car. That's what it looks like from here. Either that or it's Big Brother Bobby McGannon's machine. Yes, that is Bobby McGannon.
Well, you know, Van Iwigen, that is a very, very fast race car tonight. He's back there about the third or fourth row back, but he did a yeoman job qualifying that mount tonight. And that thing is just one very fast car.
So Billy, he's a double duty driver. Also has a 305 Sprinter. Of course, we'll see him with the CRSA guys when they come into house here. I do believe that's next week.
Next Saturday night, of course, brought to us by RGH Fabrications. It's tough being a double-duty driver. It's kind of like Ken White going down the New York State Thruway, shifting gears and eating the Dunkin' Donuts at the same time. It's got so much going on.
Especially when he's got my stepmother as a passenger, trying to hide the liquor bottle in the paper bag.
Better a passenger than a hood ornament. But you know what? She told me earlier. Now I got to hand it to her. She really does a great job. She lost a lot of weight over the winter months since last June. But she did say, though, that she still got this 140 pounds to lose from the family. And then she mentioned your name after it. So I don't know. I think the feeling's kind of mutual there. You know?
She loves me.
The only weight she's got to lose then is you out of the family. So I don't know. You know, she's trying to disown you or what's going on.
I've constantly been told, Tim, that I'm out of the will.
Remove that limb from the family tree and, you know.
I said, trust me, I don't want that cat anyway. So, unfortunately, a lot of hardware being taken off the speedway over there in turn number 3 right now, and looks as if Big Brother pronouncing Johnny Lido, been pronouncing it the wrong way. Apparently it's Johnny lied to. As in, he lied to his wife. About what? I don't know. Of course, I was kind of calling him Shorty the Sheriff last year because the story is with Hermance Motorsports, they had to move the seat because Johnny could not reach the pedals, or he couldn't see over the steering wheel.
Don't they allow phone books underneath the driver's seat?
I believe that they had to throw those in as well. So while we were down at Atlantic City enjoying the Gamblers Classic, I got wind of that one and started calling him Shorty the Sheriff. But so Johnny Lido lied to. He's got a single feature win here at the Speedway, and of course picked that up towards the end of the 2010 season.
Worst part about it is in our hometown we actually have an officer with the last name Lido, so no relation, that's for sure.
Say hi to Judge lied to.
Well, all this excitement in 6 laps or less has certainly changed the complexion of this starting lineup right now. It has also made for some poundage of recyclable sheet metal as well.
Heavy damage on the Cliff Airman car. Right now as we see him right down here in the pit area. Caution light has been turned on around the Speedway, getting set to go back to green flag racing for this amateur pure stock, street stock event. Here we come at turn number 4. Johnny Lido is going to lead him off at turn number 4 down the front straightaway, and he'll bring Billy Wilson with him. They're 3 wide, the back of the pack.
Well, it's all just begun once again. 6 laps down. They run 3 wide down through turns number 1 and 2 right now. We'll see Whitehead try and thread the needle down the back straightaway, but Van Inwingen, he is a man possessed out here tonight as he makes a break into the top 5 running order.
Keep an eye on Chris Whitehead down to the inside of Billy V. He'll quickly take over that spot right now. Along with the statesman, Jerry Higbee. Now testing the waters up on the top side right now of Jesse Klein. Down the back straightaway, nobody really stepping on a line. That is Bruce Klein. They'll get over it. We go racing down to turn number 3.
Higbee working well right now. Sets sail down to the inside of turn number 3 and 4. Puts the notch ahead of the Bangor Bullet himself. Higbee in that Bada Binga Pizza Beaver Kill Trout Hatchery 97 car looking well. And he is beginning to make tracks up through the field. He's drawing in tightly now against the tail side of Billy Van Immengen's 23 car.
Michael Storms down to the outside of Hollywood. Craig Mitchell. Storms trying to break into the top 10. Well, I stand corrected again. That is Randy Sherlock in the 10X car. I think for the rest of the race, I just won't say anything. It'll be the blue one coming out of turn number 4.
Whoa, trouble going in. Oh, this is not good. Red lights will be put on the track. Randy Sherlock, very hard into the first turn buffer wall, ricocheting and on his roof at this point.
Watching the Tommy Z-Band instant replay. And
he's out of the car. He's out.
Sherlock is out of the car.
Wow.
Oh, what a wild ride. And I watched the instant replay, Timmy, and Steve Dodd had gotten in to Timmy Heinle. That sent Heinle going the wrong way. And poor Randy Sherlock, no place to go except up into the turn 1 wall.
On the replay, it was probably the nastiest flip I've seen here at the Speedway in quite some time. Because when he hit that buffering wall, it just ricocheted him into midair, flipped him over in midair, and it was a very hard landing on the roll cage, on the roof of that car. It did hold up. As you can see, he climbed out unscathed and continues to unscathed. But that was one nasty impact. Shows you the safety of the car itself, though, because he landed on his roof very hard. Now, the ricochet itself was bad enough, but landing back down on your roof with that tremendous of a force, and that cage held up. A lot of weight on that part of the roll cage, too, because the entire weight of that car came down square on that roll cage.
Still have to have those tires there because without those tires.
Everybody must remain back behind pit wall. Let the crews do their job. Please remain back behind pit wall.
Well, while we have a moment here, Timmy, I just picked up the phone and realized I had a text message. A two-time track champion here in the Pro Stock division, Bobby Waters Jr., just brought in a new little baby girl, Madison, a few short weeks ago. So congratulations to Bobby and his wife for a beautiful little girl, Madison. So we got word from Mission Control. Randy Sherlock right now in the regional EMS ambulance. He is okay. He is talking. They're going to just check him out a little bit, make sure he's okay. And I'll tell you what, a big kudos to the manufacturer of that roll cage. As John Schneider said here, Tim, that man definitely wants to go and kiss his welder.
I just pointed out, not a good night for the Sherlock Racing team. Their lead driver, Mike Storms, had trouble earlier down there in turn number 3 with his modified as he scraped the masonry and caused some damage to it, but that 10 car right there will have to undergo some serious investigation to see whether it's even worthy of continuing in the racing world or not.
Well, under that red flag condition there, we saw the 2-time defending track champion, Jerry Higbee, pull off the racing surface, so he'll restart this feature event here at the tail end.
If we keep this up, we'll be drawing for a finish.
Keep in mind, following this 30-lap feature event, we do have the first installment of the Saft Electric 4-cylinder Demolition Derby Series.
That's the intentional one.
Yes.
Okay. That's the one that doesn't create many expensive phone calls to barracks throughout the week.
Just many phone calls to people's parents. Have you seen my car?
Son just asked if he could use it to the races. Bring it back. Well, to help possibly prevent any other cautions, since it is one wild night here on the hard clay, these guys will remain single file after just 9 laps of competition. Green lights will fly. LJ, we're going back to green flag racing.
Well, we're going to look to put lap number 10 in the books this time by. It has been still in the hands of Johnny Lito. From the drop of the green flag, he started on the pole position. Back there in spot number 2 is the Razor, Mike Ruggiero. He started third. Third spot right now is Billy Wilson, and fourth is going to be Joe Morrell as they work off a turn number 4. This will be lap number 10, 20 to go.
Morrell getting quick as the time rolls on right now as he's trying to pull down to the inside on Billy Wilson. Wilson driving a great groove, not quite enough racing real estate to make that pass. Morrell remains in 4th, Whitehead 5th, Van Inwich in 6th, and then Bruce Klein. Klein rides back there in the number 7 spot.
Monster Mills back out onto the speedway as well. Of course, he is several laps down. Johnny Lito still your race leader. And it's the Escape RB53 machine of Mike Ruggiero. Ruggiero looking for his first career win here in the Big Block Modifieds. Billy Wilson doing a great job. Joe Morrell, Chris Whitehead, Billy Van Inwigen, and Bruce Klein.
Time rolls on. We'll see 12 laps go up in lights this time as Leto in the Hermance Motorsports 33 car. Runs a great groove, but I'll tell you, the Razor Ruggiero appears to have a great hand at things through the turns of the speedway because that's where he's able to covet the most distance. Down the straightaways, Leto has got one basket of HPs beneath that sheet metal.
Joe Morrell testing the waters down to the inside of Billy Wilson. He'll now go back up to the top side, the Wilson's Auto and Truck Center. And there's Morrell now putting the pumper on Wilson, trying to get around as Whitehead watches it all unfold. Stevie Don, the Boys Excavating 88 car, takes a beat down to the inside of Bruce Klein down the back straightaway.
Billy Wilson, truly an ageless veteran of big block modified excitement here at the Speedway, has always carried that familiar yellow and white color. And for the bulk of his career, also the number 7 on the door panel. Wilson fails to be intimidated right now as Morrell holds on to the number 4 slot, trying everything in the book. He's got the owner's manual right now out of the glove compartment, trying to page through that section to figure out how to get around Billy Wilson.
Finally, we are halfway home this time by 15 down, 15 to go for Johnny Leto. Keep an eye on the Razor, Mike Ruggiero. Lap after lap, he'll pick up a foot or so on Leto down the back straightaway, and then way in the back of the pack, and big problems for Billy Wilson. Big sparks out of the 7X1 car. He'll go pit side.
So a tough break after running top 3, top 4 the entire distance. Wilson now drops from the mix. Tough break for Billy Wilson. He'll take that Wilson's Auto and Truck car down behind pit wall. Meanwhile, it is still Leto and the number 53 car of Mikey Ruggiero, top 2 dominant drivers. Morrell has broken free from the pack, and he is on a mission right now to cover as much space as possible in the next 14 or 13.65 laps.
Oh, yellow flag. We are going to see the yellow.
We'll tell you why as soon as we figure out. It's one of those WTH yellows. What the heck?
Oh, apparently some extra fluid down on the speedway right now, so we are going to go yellow flag.
So, racing excrement on the speedway, and that's making things slick. And on a night like tonight, just don't need anything like that. Plaguing the surface.
In NFL, they would call that a TV timeout.
At home, we'd call it time to run to the refrigerator. Ken White would call it time to break open another dozen of donuts.
And my stepmother would call it happy hour.
You just won't let that go.
She's a good woman. She loves me. She has to. It's the law. Well, in the restart zone, single file, Tex Enright style. So caution light has been turned on around this speedway. Apparently the wet stuff has been cleaned up. Country Chevrolet Camaro, driven by Mr. Buck Marl. He'll take off down the back straightaway and try and tuck that in. So we get set to go back to green flag racing. 13 laps to go for the judge, Johnny Leto.
Well, it's far from over yet. 13 laps on top right now with the number 53 car, Mikey Ruggiero, right there in the hunt. Here we come out of turn number 4. Green flag back, and Leto waving bye-bye once again. Immediately drops about a 4 car length gap between himself and second place man in the Razor Ruggiero, then Morrell. Morrell trying to pedal very quickly down the back straightaway with Whitehead right there in tow for spot 4. Van Iwingen back there in spot 5, and the Banger Bullet Bruce Klein running home right now in spot number 6.
The only man stepping out of the line right now is the Statesman, Jerry Higbee, trying to get around second generation driver, little Jeff Hetzler Jr. down at turn number 1 right now. You see Higbee kind of touching the waters up to the top side. He'll tuck it back in. He'll draft down the back straightaway, but it's still in the hands of Johnny Leto. See work off at turn number 4.
Yeah, with the extreme amount of cautions we've seen so far in the first 18 laps, I think the drivers are getting just a tad bit conservative, and of course, that's all right. If it prevents more cautions, run the single file, play your game when you need to, but try and do it as quickly and cautiously as possible.
So, coming up on just 10 laps to go right now from Little Chief, Jerry Enright. Of course, he is a second-generation starter here at the Orange County Fair Speedway. Johnny Lito sees 10 to go, and I'll tell you what, he's looking for career win number 2, and he may have it. He's hanging on, just 10 more laps to go. Mike Ruggiero back in spot number 2. Morel is 3rd, Whitehead 4th. Billy Van Inwagen rounding out the top 5.
It is one very capable race car, no two ways about it. Lito brings that pack of horse puppies down through turns number 3 and 4. 21 laps now in the record books. Morel back there in the 53 car trying to draw in against the 53 of Ruggiero. Ruggiero does not appear to have the power to put any type of threat against Ruggiero, against the Lito racing efforts at this point. 22 laps get lit up this time, and watch now on the final third of this event to see the different groove that Lito might begin taking.
Nobody really stepping out of line that time by as the laps are clicking off for Johnny Lito. Lito would love to visit us in Victory Lane down here at the Orange County Fair Speedway, week number 2 here for the 2011 season. Lito now still running that center line, drifts it up to the outside wall. He leads lap number 23, followed by the Razor Mike Ruggiero.
Well, after the extreme amount of racing we've seen on the playing surface so far here this evening, the track surface itself begins to take on a different complexion. We see a lot of rubber being laid down. Drivers may begin to start taking different grooves to get out of that slipperier rubber groove that we see. A lot of guys are hugging the inside rail as the laps tick off here to round out this 30-lap dance here this evening.
Well, it looks as if the top side may have glazed over just a little bit. That's where the bite is down there on the bottom side. Everybody just trying to keep the sheet metal together on these big block modifieds. Of course, as Timmy said, it's been a wild one here. Week number 2, the Orange County Fair Speedway. Should be coming up in about 5 laps to go. 5 to go right now for Johnny Lito, and Lito's in trouble!
The car has lost power coming into turn number 1. And a tough break for a dominant driver on the 5/8 mile tonight. Lito's efforts have stopped shy 4 1/2 laps from Victory Lane.
Well, for the first time in 2011, he's in a new ride in the Escape RV 53 machine. It has been turned over to the Razor Mike Ruggiero, multi-feature winner in the Sportsman division, multi-track champion. Looking for career win number 1 here in the big block modifieds. He's only got to hang on for about 3 more laps.
Well, he's been consistent all night long, and when a gift like that gets put in your lap, you don't say nay by any way. And I'll tell you what, he's got to be a very happy driver, but not, of course, to the misfortune of Johnny Lito, who dominated this entire event. Now Ruggiero getting strong as time rolls on. I think Morel knows that there will not be any challenge to offer to the first place running Ruggiero at this point. We're coming up on just two laps to go.
The Razor Mike Ruggiero. Love to put that 53 machine. That's the new car owner in Victory Lane here tonight. It looks as if he may do it down the back straightaway. Now out to about a 25 car length lead over Joe Morel. Chris Whitehead sits 3rd. Billy Van Inwagen is 4th. And the Banger Bullet, Bruce Klein, sits back there in spot number 5. The white flag will fly one more time around for the Razor, Mike Ruggiero.
Well, a pair of 53s in 1st and 2nd. They're not even related to each other, but it's Morel back there in the black 53 car running in the bridesmaid spot. Whitehead still 3rd. Van Inwagen is 4th. It looks like the Banger Bullet will take home a 5th place paycheck here this evening. Not too shabby for him as well. 2 more left-hand turns. Checkered flag comes out. The win goes to Mike Ruggiero. 2nd spot will be Joe Morel. 3rd spot, Chris Whitehead. 4th place, Billy Van Inwagen. Bruce Klein is 5th. Steve Dodd then 6th. Mitchell is 7th. Jeffers Seat Jr. is 8th. 9th place is Higbee.
They say every fucking thing in racing, brother, you need a break.
I'll tell you what, we had a lot of bad luck last year, so.
There you go, buddy.
Fucking Dale, this is all for Dale right there.
Great race, man. Enjoy this fucking thing.
It looks good, right? It's nice. Relative looks. Whenever you're ready. You guys ready?
Razor! Mike Ruggiero pulls in the victory lead. It's in a big block modified. He can hear you now. Gonna do the rooftop shuffle.
I'm not Carl Edwards.
Get a few words with him. Mike, I'll tell you what, you got about 3 laps to go, and all of a sudden you see Johnny Lito pull over to the side. He says, you know what, Mike, this one's all yours. Hey, a win's a win any way you can get it. You still got to wheel the car around the track. Congratulations. Welcome to Victory Lane, but it's in a big block modified.
Yeah, I was hoping we get one last year, but, you know, whatever happened. And I don't know what happened to Lito there in his microphone, but he was smoking and leaking oil and everything for 2 laps there, and I was hoping he would have pulled off under the caution, but he didn't. But hey, a win's a win, like you say. I'll tell you what, in the record book, it don't say how you want it.
No two ways about that, as Timmy Pitts would say. Hey, I'll tell you what, new car owner, new colors, new number. I'm sure there's a lot of people you got to thank for getting you here to Victory Lane.
I'll tell you, I don't even know half of the people, but I got to thank Daryl, Uncle Gary, Stanley, Harry, everybody that's associated with Double D Motorsports. And tell you what, this came through a couple weeks ago, and I didn't think it was going to happen, actually. You know, I didn't know if I could get in a good ride like this. So tell you what, I owe it all to these guys: Rut, my mom, my dad, all the sponsors here, everybody. I mean, it's pretty good right now.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Picks up his first ever big block modified feature win, the Razor, Mike Ruggiero.
All right. Back up, lady. Where's the plaque?
Whitey, right behind you.
Whitey's right here.
So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, don't take off just yet. Still have a 4-cylinder Demolition Derby to come out here very shortly. Ready? Winning for the first time here in 2011, your defending track champion here in the Sportsman division, BK Speed, Brian Crummell. Hey, you shot at a spot number 4 at the drop of the green, never look back. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
Yeah, it feels real good. I got to thank all my sponsors. They really helped me out. Sharon and Charlie Loader are a huge help. My beautiful girlfriend, Nicole, we're going on vacation tomorrow, so this tops it off. And happy birthday to my dad. It was his birthday a couple days ago, so this was a great night. A little bad opening night, but tonight made up for it all. This is awesome. So,
well, Brian, you just made my job a whole lot easier. You thanked everybody, and congratulations to you. Hopefully we'll talk to you again real soon here, 2011.
Yeah, that'd be great. The track was in great shape, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the fans again. Love the fans. They support us every week. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much.
There you have it, winning the Dirt Car Sportsman feature event, BK Speed, Brian Crummell. Ready, Tom? Well, pulling into Victory Lane here for the new Street Stock division. He's a little old, but he can still get the job done. Emo, Pop, Emerson Cargate Sr. Hey, I'll tell you what, you kind of puckered up there a little bit on that last lap. Big puff of smoke out of the right side of this thing. What's going on?
I got through the belt again. I don't know. We hit the water coming out of 4, and that's when it threw the belt. So we'll have to do a little more research and go back to the drawing board.
Well, definitely don't let Kenny Reed adjust those belts for you. That's probably what happened. Emerson, I'll tell you what, a strong competitor here in the street stock division. That last lap, a little bit nervy there, but you got the job done. Looking for championship number 4 in a row here.
Yeah, well, no, three. I got one in the middle I missed. But anyway, before we get, I have to dedicate this year to a loyal sponsor, Howard Moore. He passed away 2 weeks ago. And also to a young lady that passed away 5 years ago tonight, Leslie Orance.
Emerson, I'm sure there's also a lot of people you got to thank for getting you back here to Victory Lane because, as we all know, it's not easy.
No, it's not. I mean, my son, he helps me all the time. Phil from Putnam Capital. I mean, my other sponsors, CarQuest and Skyline Towing and Christopher's. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. They're out of business, so I don't know what's going on there. And, you know, Dave's Racing Collectible. I mean, it's just a wonderful bunch of guys. They come back every year.
I'll thank one more for you. I'll thank Farmville for you. How's that?
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen, winning the Street Stock feature event, Pop Cargane Emerson Cargane Sr.
want to take